Boom. We are live, folks. We are live. We are live. We are live. It's a Monday night, and it is Wrestlemania week. We cannot wait. The channel that covers more wrestling than anyone else is back at it again. We're going to be here all week long, folks. We can't wait for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and the weekend. It's going to be insane on this channel. We have the go home show for, that's right, WrestleMania 39, going Hollywood. We are going all the way. It's going to be a good night. Strap in, strap on. Let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live. We are live, like I said, and we're back at it again. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. This is Monday Night Raw. We are going to get Cody and Solo and a whole bunch of other things related to WrestleMania, including an Omos and Brock weigh-in. I don't know how that's going to look or how that's going to feel, folks, but we're going to get into all of it. We got lots to talk about, lots of rumors, lots of stories. Stacy Keibler is a Hall of Famer, but I will remind everybody before we get into all that fun stuff, I am Mr. Everynight KJ White, and I can't do this without this guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube Tag Team Champions of the World, the Every Night Delight, KJ White, and I am the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, Big Nick. And speaking, I guess, of hostess with the mostest, we've got The Miz, the host of WrestleMania right now out in the ring.
Yes. Now, on the preview, I believe the ladies are going to be his guests tonight.
But he got a decent pop there for Miz TV, but I will take a minute of shout out everybody in the chat. C-Money, A-Town, Ronnie, Watt, John, everybody. Rocco, Damian, Victor, Mick, Christ, everybody. It's getting to the point where you need like going through the whole
Ronnie and Dale.
Right.
Victor into Johnny.
You write the whole song.
Right? Let's go. Folks, are you excited for WrestleMania? Are you excited for WrestleMania week? If you haven't seen our WrestleMania preview and prediction show, it is up and live now. Go check that out from yesterday. Good times. We will get to the chat. Keep blowing it up. I see people trickling in right now. Welcome to the show. If you haven't been here before, like, subscribe, tell everybody you know about us. If they are wrestling fans, they need to be here. I don't care if you're at your house, your family's house, your cousin's house, the outhouse, doghouse, farmhouse. Just share it all. Let everybody know about the Live Network.
From the outhouse to the penthouse, folks. Now we've got Trish Stratus coming out right now.
Oh, it's time to rock and roll.
God.
Bob Chambers.
Damn, does she look good?
Oh, dude. Be still me heart.
Yeah, she's your Toronto gal.
No, she's a lovely, lovely lady. It's so funny because I lived around the corner from one of her gyms that she owns, and they had like this big mural of her on the window. So every morning when I'd go get my Timmy's, I'd just be staring at.
Oh, I was about to say I was going to make it so that was your motivation to work out the whole time. You were
that's the only reason why I ever went to the gym.
I'm gonna get you, Trish. I'm gonna just be all buff and stuff.
You know what? She was definitely a teenage crush, and even as a grown-ass man, she looks better than she ever did. Like, she just got better with age, and she's a phenomenal athlete.
I like fine wine.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's her and Charlotte neck and neck for best female performer of all time. Those are my two faves, so that's where we're at.
We do have, by the way, I will remind people, we do have Becky, Trish, and Lita coming out to be guests on Miz TV. They're going to have a match with Damage Control and Bayley at WrestleMania. And I guess speaking of aging like fine wine, Stacy Keibler's the new inductee into the Hall of Fame. I feel like this is one we all kind of thought had already been announced and everything. We'd heard this talked about for a hot minute, and then they finally made it official.
Yeah, it was rumored for a while, and finally, I mean, it's really interesting. We're going into the week of WrestleMania, and we don't know the whole class, or do we? There's some debate on that.
If we do, that's a no weak offense, sauce. But it's a weak sauce class. It's only for
weak sauce situation.
Well, and a lot of people, there was a leaked picture that went around a while ago that had pretty much everybody that's been named so far. And it also, I believe, I know it included Umaga. And it also, I believe, might have included Batista. But I know you and I talked about if you were going to do that, you would have done that by now. But maybe Umaga still gets announced maybe on SmackDown going into the Hall of Fame.
Right. But yes, folks, the ladies are here. And because we like predictions so much on this channel, why don't you tell me yes or no? Are we going to get a scrap amongst the 6 competitors at some point here tonight?
Are we going to get a scrap of the ladies beating up Miz tonight?
Right? Everyone just turns on Miz. Fuck it.
Right.
So, but yeah, Dale's here. Welcome to WrestleMania week. See money, my man.
Yeah. Girl, is there any room for me
in
those jeans? But no, I think C-Money also too wished us a happy WrestleMania weekend and then called us psychopaths. Like, man, you were talking like you know me or something.
Hey, man, it's the way it is.
Spade's a spade, but
like I said, nobody does it at this level, folks. Nobody watches as much wrestling as we watch. We've earned the right to have our stupid opinions because we just take it. Well, I almost said we all take it in, but I paused myself before I had to say that. Son of a bitch. But yes, we are the wrestling addicts of YouTube. We do not stop, folks. And I'm looking forward to this. And the crowd is live tonight.
Well, this is the week of WrestleMania. No matter what, like I said during our prediction show, no matter what, it's like Christmas season. It's like the Super Bowl of wrestling. No matter what, even if you don't follow football, what have you, you get excited because it's WrestleMania week. It's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry. Wrestle's a bad word. So it's sports entertainment mania.
That would be enough of that. I want some good wrestling.
It's in the name, so just a little bit. Tiffany, what up? Yeah, she's excited. Fair enough.
Tiffany's ready to go. I'm excited. So remember, just in case you forgot, folks, Becky and Lita are the tag team champions.
Yeah, I don't be like me and forget all of that. You know, I realized halfway through our prediction show, which mind you was like an hour and a half in, that Kai and Sky weren't the tag team champions anymore. Yeah, when you watch this much wrestling, the stuff melds together.
It really does, Nick. And sometimes some of the details. I mean, I know it's become a gimmick of mine, but I mean, trying to hold all these fucking names together, especially when you're dealing with Tony's random booking, NXT's nonsense. Impact, who knows? And yeah,
and vitamins. You can't forget vitamins.
And vitamins are always a good, memory helper.
Exactly. Memory or sentence enhancer. But we've got Damage Control coming out right now.
Oh, thank God somebody hit the music on Lita. She still can't talk on the mic. So Amy never could talk on the mic that well. I always found her very...
She didn't have to. She was the chick that did the moonsaults. Yeah, she never had to cut a promo.
Yeah. When you gave her the microphone, even when she worked, like doing like the pre-shows and shit, I was like, she sounds so fake.
Bailey's even getting a big pop.
Yeah, she should. Look at it. Like
she constantly keeps coming out more and more looking either like she's on an extra of Daria or like in some like 90s like teenage sitcom thing, like playing the like angsty daughter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like she's robbing. She looks like she's robbing Wendy Chu's gimmick a little with the PJs here.
Are those PJs or are they flannel pants? They might be more flannel pants, but I mean, respect to Bailey. I dig Bailey. I'm a fan of Bailey.
Dude, I
say that otherwise Chris Leclerc is going to be coming at me,
Yeah, no kidding.
You said what about my girl? Why?
Right. Happy Wyatt 6 days till Mania. I fucking dig it, but that's funny as hell. I think there's 4 days till Mania though.
5.
I mean, it depends how you count.
Yeah, that's that Canadian inflation rate there.
Right. No, honestly.
But I think it's safe to say at this point that Wyatt's not going to be at Mania. That ship has sailed. Has the ship sailed on Bray Wyatt in WWE?
That at all. I don't think that's.
You still think we're going to get the Muscle Man dance at WrestleMania 39?
No, I think we're going to get something else. I think we're going to get. I think they're going to flip the switch back on to what they were already doing. I think the dirt sheets have people fucking twisted, and I think It's like Cody with the dirt sheets, and even like going through the Elite and Punk bullshit. The dirt sheets are so divisive in the fans, where all the fans should be like fucking screaming and yelling the same thing at times. You get a lot of these rumors that twist everything up. I think there's a chance that Bray Wyatt's still involved somewhere. I don't know how yet, but I haven't given up.
I agree with you to an extent. Meanwhile, Becky's cutting a hell of a promo saying you ain't doing nothing, and the two are behind you. You got standing with you ain't doing nothing either.
That's a true story. That's fact. Look, it's hard to really be excited about this match because Damage Control has been shit useless since they got back. Unfortunately, they haven't been great. And people are going to say, oh, they won the belts a couple times. No, they kind of did, but it was lackluster at best. They played hot potato for a few weeks. We don't know why. They've lost a lot.
But this still shows, though, this reminds everybody how goddamn good Becky is on the mic. Because she's sitting there, you're just doing nothing but being a lackey. I'm sitting here beside two of the greatest women's champions of all time. And you're just sitting there doing nothing, being a lackey, doing the same old shtick you've been doing since SummerSlam.
Right. Becky is fine.
And now they hit Becky's music. Like, what?
We need more Becky, dude. We need more Becky like this in a prominent role. She is fire. Like when
Becky has the man Becky. We go back to that. We don't need the Lady Gaga Becky.
All right, so we're just getting a heated argument, and that's it?
Yeah, well, like I said, it was weird that they sat there and hit Becky's music and everything while they're just awkwardly staring at each other. I was like, swing, do something. You're nose to nose.
And then we
just want to whip their ass, so do it.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, was it 50-50, obviously, that we were going to get a fight or not? But right into a WrestleMania package, and I will take this time to remind everybody who's tuning in right now, folks, we're here all goddamn week long. We are not stopping. Tomorrow, we're back with the Stand and Deliver Go Home show from NXT. Wednesday, we're here for Dynamite. Man, the booking of Dynamite has lost its mind. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to this card, but it is the craziest bookings. And there's some hefty dark matches on this Dynamite coming up. But it's always entertaining. It's a bit of a train wreck, but there's potential. We'll see what they get out of it, but man, we'll see what happens. Thursday, we're going to go Triple Threat. We're going to go Impact. We're going to go Ring of Honor. We start at 7 p.m. We're not going home till I don't God know when. We are doing a marathon stream on Thursday night. We will cover the Multiverse United, New Japan versus Impact Wrestling. Cards changed a little, but it's going to be a great night. We're looking forward to that. Friday, we're back at it again with another marathon. We're going to hit Super Card of Honor. I cannot wait for this card. As much as I just teased Tony about Dynamite, Ring of Honor has been pretty good, and Eddie Kingston and Samoa Joe is worth the price of admission alone. I think so. SmackDown, Rampage, then the marathon, the Mania marathon kicks off in full effect. 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. We will be here. We got Stand and Deliver. Before we even go live, we'll have XFL weekly update earlier than usual on this particular week. And it just keeps going. We're going to have games. We're going to have trivia. We're going to have chances for prizes. We're going to have guests. We're going to have all we can have. And then we're going to get into WrestleMania Night 1. And then we're going to be back on Sunday for another marathon. 4 days in a row. The Mania week, is going to not stop. And then we'll have WrestleMania Night 2. So, folks, anywhere you are talking about wrestling, anywhere you see people talking about wrestling, let them know about the Wrestling for Life Network. Like I said, nobody does it like we do. So, Nick, I'm out of words.
I was going to say it. I don't know if I can even, as much as I'm a motor mouth, I don't even know if I can follow that one up.
Tune in.
I'm just like Kelvin for anyone that's played Sons of the Forest. Just good job. Just thumbs up. You did it. You got it, dude. Like, I can't, outdo that. As much as I can be here and, pontificate on my mountain of omnipotence and everything like that, I can't top that. Okay. Tabernacle.
Oh, Nick's favorite word in the French language.
Yes, I'm gonna get a tabernacle.
You need a t-shirt. I can get you a tabernacle t-shirt from somewhere.
Well, no, we just have to have one in our damn merch store, which we got the merch store, we got the Discord, we got anything and everything. Absolutely.
Sometimes I forget we're doing this thing.
Right. Well, and like speaking of people forgetting of the Battle Royal on SmackDown, which I guess they've allegedly said that they're going to put more effort into the Andre battle royal, which I'll believe it when I see it, but will lead to a Mania match. Either Bray and Howdy show up, or LA Knight and Lashley work into a match. I believe you on the second one. I think the ship has sailed with Bray Wyatt and all of that, and now we're in commercial, so I'll get to my point with that. I agree with you that the dirt sheets just try and spin stories the way they see fit, whatever half the time fits their narrative, depending on what source you go to. But to me, I don't need a dirt sheet to tell me when they're throwing Bobby Lashley into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. We've had no more build on this Bray Wyatt storyline. We've had nothing from him, no little promo, no little glitch video, no nothing. Everything that's at least been speculated, been percolated through the dirt sheets is factual in some form or manner. So I think that's done.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the backup plan, or realistically what we could get more likely, is LA Knight and Bobby, but I really don't know. I think somehow the story being delayed ties into Alexa, and I mean, I might be stealing this from somebody, but Alexa, you know, she got tested for cancer. She stepped away. She had some personal issues, and thankfully she is cleared, from what I understand. Yes. So maybe the story was, like, I mean, we saw all this stuff heading, you know, into the last pay-per-view where we were like, okay, where's this going? And then it just paused. Seemed like it just stopped. I'm hoping that because of an unplanned pause, that there's an opportunity here to kind of surprise everybody again. It needs something.
Yeah, I'm going to tie that into the whole Alexa thing into the match that we've got going on and everything, because as we've got the Mean Girls outside, as we've got Io versus Becky right now going on in the ring. So give us your predictions for that. But we've got the Mean Girls outside of, I'm going to quote the Mean Girls here, of stop trying to make fetch work. Stop trying to fit Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt together in a storyline. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Just I think I've sunk your battleship a little bit at this point here.
I don't know. I will see. Time will tell. But I think Bray and Alexa are somehow still connected. And we're getting segments with fucking Howdy. So I mean, there had to be something. Now, whether they go back to it, I don't know. But
nobody knows.
They were teasing it. They were fucking with it.
Right.
We haven't seen Howdy in a month.
That's the greatest mystery of all. There was no actual end game.
Right?
It was Bray, Austin. It was Bray all along.
Right? Victor, thank you so much for the super chat. Remember, folks, as the chat gets busy, especially over the next few days, if you want to stand out, use that super chat. We'll be sure to click on those ones for sure. And as always, we try to get to every single chat, but that promise is starting to wear thin.
It's getting a little more difficult. I'm not saying it's wearing thin, it's more difficult. But if you do want to help support the channel, anything like that, you want to stand out, if you want to make sure we read your comment, if you just want to vehemently agree with one of us on a point or anything like that, we do.
Or you want to celebrate what you believe. Like I kind of teased the booking for Wednesday. Listen, Omega and Cobb is going to be really interesting. To me, I don't know. I'm curious because I don't know how well these two styles are going to fit together. This is a different match for Kenny.
Kenny will go back to the Japanese style of wrestling, I feel.
Yeah, like this could
I think it's going to be a really good match. Jeff Cobb, before he really dug his heels in with IWGP, with New Japan, was a guy you could see going to WWE or a guy you could see going to AEW. I think they even kind of had the bidding war over it a bit.
Yeah. Make Jeff Cobb and Jonah a tag team, bro.
Shut up.
Right? But yes, get your predictions in. If you're new here, we take a prediction on all the matches. So right now we got Becky, we got Io. Who do you got? If you're lazy, give me a B. I mean, you should be able to give me an EO.
B-I-N-G-O, B-I-N-G-O.
But all that being said, Nick, I
and bingo on this comment.
Right? Do you guys watch wrestling? Never.
Just a little bit.
No.
Just a little bit.
Thank you, Randy. The Antique Roadshow.
Give it time. Hey,
give it time.
We're here long enough on WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. It might happen.
Dude, one day one of us are going to see something online like the wrestling edition of the Antique Roadshow. We're like, we're fucking there.
I bet you there's got to be some like throwback version to where like Hogan's on there or something. Or QVC. We'll watch old QVC when they were shilling WCW merch.
Hogan is the Antique Roadshow at this point.
Not bad.
But yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see where this all plays out. Again, it's just interesting. Like, I mean, we're still talking about AJ, the Good Brothers. Like, there's so much in flux and so much in the fuck. Like, this has been crazy times for wrestling, right? Like, we've been lucky as wrestling fans, and I think some of us are, some out there in the IWC, as you want to call it, are just spending way too much time being negative and not realizing how awesome all this shit is. And that's what I was going to add on was I think Cobb's outstanding. I think Kenny has a chance to really impress me. Like, he gives a fuck about my opinion, but this is a different style match for Kenny. I really want to see it. But
two count. I would rather see Cobb versus Omega than when we had El Vikingo versus Kenny, to be honest. Personal opinion.
That went exactly the way we anticipated. And that's where I'm funny, because to me, Vikingo's more up Kenny's alley than Cobb. And he can't do the one wing angel on Cobb.
Yes, he can. Yes,
Fuck
he can.
no.
You just hate that move.
Well, Cobb's a big dude, man.
Yeah, he's stocky. He reminds me of Rhino. He's like Samoan Rhino.
Samoan Rhino. The guy's like watching now. I'm not even Samoan.
Right. No, yeah, I'm gonna end up with Jeff Cobb knocking on my fucking door.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Shit.
But yeah, man, I really
thank
think
you
that.
very much, by the way, homie.
What's that? Oh yes,
Jordan.
Absolutely.
Heather, what up? Terrence, what up? See money, I did.
There you go.
Omos and Brock involves both Wyatt and Bobby in their match. What do you guys think?
It's a lot.
I think with that match, we could potentially see. Do we see at some point between now and Mania a reformation or realignment, reestablishment of the Hurt Business?
Here's another thing. That's a very fucking up in the air storyline as well, because they teased it. We were getting those background whispering situations behind promos and interviews, and then nothing. Again, I don't know why. Like, it's almost like they had a plan with Bobby and Bray, and maybe it led to the Hurt Business. Like, Bobby needed the Hurt Business to deal with this psychopath. Maybe, Bray does have friends. Maybe Dutch and Vincent and Bo are involved. Who knows? You got wrestlers out there, even Redbeard's trolling the fans by tweeting shit. You have no sense of what's coming or going with this. Do I think you're going to put both those people in that situation? Nah, it's a lot to ask.
Well, first I want to touch on Heather's comment, because I just think that's really sweet. I get happy when I get your notification. Heather, I very much appreciate that.
That's
100%. I was going to say, that makes this shit worth it.
Yeah.
When you're here all day, not saying we don't have fun, but sometimes you want to fall asleep. Thank you, Tony Carr. We're here like 12 hours, all of that. But
yeah, we'll hold on tight.
Have you heard the alleged original plan of when we had that Bray Brock challenge, like Bobby challenge thing, of what Bray was hoping to get out of that?
No.
It was going to be him this is allegedly what I've heard, that Bray wanted Brock because he was going to have Brock kill off this version of Bray and unleash the quote unquote monster version of Bray.
Isn't that the Fiend?
Well, fun fact, WWE by that point, after Brock was like, I don't want to do that, obviously, even WWE at that point was like, all right, Bray, you've kind of lost the plot with this. Like, can you maybe just do the Fiend? Can you do the Fiend? Because that moved a lot of merch for us. We didn't give a shit about how you booked it or whatever, but it moved a lot of merch. And that, I think, I guess, led to the dissension, the issue, the no-show, Madison Square Garden, etc., that he wanted to still do what he was doing, and they were like, you're losing the plot. Maybe go back to something that worked before.
I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't think there's creative differences. Because
so then what do you think the issue is? And I if it is a personal thing or anything like that, I hate to speculate and I hate to say what I'm saying, but it's all just going off of what I know and
what we do. It's what we do. as I'm dying online here. I'm okay, folks. I swear to God.
Clear.
Just hit different. It just hit different. I don't know if it's creative differences, dude. I think there's potentially less going on than we assume. We're just taking reports for it, and really, it wasn't like Sean Rossap came out and said, "Oh, Bray's mad at the WWE." No,
They maybe just realized we had gone down the wrong tunnel here. We went down the wrong rabbit hole. So let's hit a pause. We'll hit a reset, and we'll just try and come back.
I genuinely believe, like, if he had a personal issue, or maybe like sprained an ankle, tweaked something, whatever. But coming into this whole Bray thing, like they brought in support. They brought the dude from Marvel. His name escapes me right now.
Not Kevin Feige.
No.
Yeah, that is his name for right now because we can't remember. Not Kevin Feige.
There you go. So I mean, there was stuff in the process, and it felt like Alexa Howdy. Sorry,
I was just calling. I was just mentioning the match while you're going.
So like they were teasing Alexa and Howdy, and then it died. So
they teased that. They teased Bray and Liv. They teased Howdy being a separate person. They teased him and Howdy being a tag team together. They teased anything and everything.
I don't think
they would have paintbrush and spotted it on the wall. And whatever it hit said that's what we're running with.
But I think that we never get that whole Muscle Man dance segment with if they didn't plan on having that match at Mania. I think and then I can't. There's no way, especially contractually obligated. Bray walking out pre-Mania, his career is done because he can't do this. Like if he goes to,
he'll go do movies like he was almost allegedly doing beforehand.
But I find it hard to believe.
But Io with a moonsault on the outside gets a 2 count on Becky as we're getting an advertisement for Gunther in action later tonight as well. And Heather, I wanted to answer your comment about Randy Orton. And there's rumors that, this might make our St. Louis friend there, CJ, happy that Randy Orton might be showing up at least at WrestleMania this weekend.
What I was told was there's 100% confirmed. Now I don't know how fucking people say 100% confirmed unless
manhandle slam.
Unless Randy has said it, but I haven't seen any.
3 count.
No way. Oh. All right. The ref getting his money worth tonight.
Well, that's how women pin each other in the WWE for some reason. Thank you.
You know why? It's become a thing, and I listen 100% giving all the credit to Rhea Ripley on this, but that is, I mean, and Gunther was a guy that would do it, and people would poke. Hey, listen, man.
Pause.
For his matches, he folds dudes up and just fucking.
I don't need Gunther chopping me. Go ahead.
It's so emasculating. Like you instantly don't feel good about your manhood when you're by a big Gunther.
Downward doggy pin.
Pause. Speaking of
Raw, what up? Where was it? Oh, Rocco mentioned. I've heard Gangrel might show up for the Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, I want Christian to show up too. I mean, he has died on AEW, so
he just says, "I'm out."
Come on, Tony, lend us Christian. He ain't doing
outwork
shit.
Everybody. He Brian Pillman's himself out of AEW.
Right.
You know, it'd be really great, Tony, if what they think that, you know, when I drop in the casket, you end my contract then, and then he just shows up in WWE.
Right. Now, my question about the Gangrel thing is, have we seen it? Like we've seen him go to, you know, Brood Edge a couple times. Have we seen?
But if he comes out with Gangrel, you're telling me in your little nostalgia attitude era heart, that doesn't tug on your heartstrings and just gets you a little bit of that nostalgia pop. A bit, like it makes you sad that the only thing is missing is Christian.
Yeah,
it's a little bit like when we get the DX reunions and Road Dogg does his whole thing and has to stop because Billy Gunn ain't there.
Yeah, that's funny as shit. Yeah, I mean, but we saw it in AEW where he limped to the ring, and it was a weird spot, and it was, I mean, I imagine it won't be as Bush League as we're gonna get it at Mania.
Get ready. Dude,
I love it. I love the entrance and I love the music and I love all of
best music. Like when you were a kid, I might be of a certain age or whatever, but when I was a kid playing like No Mercy, WrestleMania 2000, all of those games, everything, you made your fucking creative character have like that either entrance song or that entrance. That was one of your creative wrestlers.
Everyone did the fucking Brood entrance, right?
Yeah. So Becky picks up the win as we got a replay of setting up Cody and Solo, as we're going to get that tonight. Yeah. And we had the Bloodline come out as we're in commercial again right now.
Are you surprised no Roman tonight?
No.
Yeah, I thought maybe we should get Roman on the Raw. Like, poor USA Network gets nothing.
You get nothing and like it.
Yeah, you just get whatever we don't want, bitch.
You said you aren't going to pay our $9 billion to buy out the company. Well, you don't get Roman then.
Like, it's funny as hell. Yeah, no, I think Christian would be a nice touch, but yeah, we are back in commercial break. And,
but I think though you save Roman because I think you could let Roman and Cody go for a minute with that whole segment teased of all roads lead to Roman or something like that, or WrestleMania.
No, that's funny as shit. That's the thumbnail for Friday.
There you
go. This is interesting. This has been kicking around a lot, but I still haven't seen any. Maybe I missed it, but I haven't seen a lot of reliable sources talking about it.
I've seen it. A lot of it speculated. A lot of people also took the fan done, Cody Rhodes exclusive Winged Eagle belt, and taking that and ran with that as fact.
Yeah.
There has been talk that Cody is going to try and bring back that WWE wants to unify the titles in a way, or bring back a different title, or make them seem unique, what have you. There's been talk of the Winged Eagle belt. To me, I don't mind it, but I guess personal preference to me, that is not the best championship that they've had. If I was going to bring back a championship belt, especially to represent a unified championship, if you're going to dissolve two championships together, you bring back Big Goldie.
Yeah, I mean, Big Goldie would be a nice touch. We've talked about it a lot, or something in the vein of Big Goldie. These fucking Toys R Us.
The undisputed title wasn't too bad either.
But it's got to be unique. I don't like this like cookie cutter fucking titles and everyone's belt's the same but different colors.
But that's so they can, when they give them, when they send them to such and such team that won this game and such team that won that championship and everything, they can stand there and no matter what it says, WWE right there, big bull and center, marketing.
Oh, absolutely. It's just mass production. And again, for me, there's a line. I think you don't have to go, you're making $1 billion. You don't have to go buck wild. You can, give us some, unique belts and still make your money. You might even make a little bit more.
Well, there's sometimes when you switch up a little bit and you have different colorways and you've got different styles and that's exclusive to that person, then you get those people, those are collectors and everything that you double dip into the pockets. I hate to advertise for that because, cheap state staying proud and everything like that. But it's still one of those that if I'm a major corporation, why not have every title look a little bit unique? So then I can't just buy the same title and paint it a different color and hey, look, that was that title.
Right, exactly. No, I love the idea. And I mean, I always championed the idea of one world champion, not two. And I saw over the last while Triple H really trying to make the IC title and Universal title matter. I don't know if you're going to go and do a draft and kind of get back to the brand split. You're going to need two belts to keep everyone interested, because you see the logjam we have with all the belts belonging to the bloodline. Like, you have all these contenders and nobody to fight.
But that's the thing, though, is if you dissolve the bloodline, if you dissolve the logjam, which I'm not exactly advocating for, because I think that's the best thing they've got going. But then you open it up to where you could have Roman and Seth are both challenging and chasing down Cody for the title. And then it becomes a who's who and who's in line here and who's in line there. I think it opens it up a bit more when you unify the titles, but you don't have a logjam.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can open it up, but I also do think it does solve a problem. Like, even if you come out of Mania, and regardless if it's Roman or Cody, you say, listen, we're not going to call this two titles anymore. We're going to call this, whatever. And we're going to dissolve it into one belt. But by the way, we're going to introduce this other belt. And you have dude, I'd be all for a tournament or some type of decent situation that gives us a champion. And I mean, it would be amazing. That's where we talk about on our prediction show. If Gunther loses the IC title and you create a new title, he'd be, one of my votes for. I think people would go nuts if he won it.
Well, if you split it to where you have it across division, but then again, I feel like you could even do it if you keep the one title. You go Rocky, Ivan Drago, since I guess certain people out there haven't seen Rocky movies and everything.
Yeah, apparently.
Right. I feel like at this point you have to intentionally go out of your way to not watch a Rocky movie at least. But if you do Gunther versus Cody, you have America, Rock, Flag, and Eagle and all of that versus Gunther. I think that very much has the potential to be a top feud. And that's what, when you take, you have maybe 5 people that you could have across 2 brands going for the world title. When you take those 5 people and they're now having to go after one person, I think you get a lot more interesting matchups. You get a lot more big fights just kind of naturally. It's one thing if you had a ton of depth across both brands, you could list out a handful of guys that should be competing for a championship, but you really, at this point, if you can go with a handful. By the way, we did just get a whole video package for Asuka versus Bianca Belair, and spoiler alert from our predictions video and everything like that, which if you haven't gone and check that out, by the way, be a friend, tell a friend, go and check that out. But is anyone taking Bianca in this? I feel like it's kind of, and it's not, because of Asuka or anything. Well, a bit it is, but it's not favoritism towards Asuka. I think it's just, Bianca's title reign has ran its course. We haven't had a ton enough build to this match. And I think it might free up Bianca to do a couple of things. Maybe if we get a draft, maybe she's going after, we get her versus, say, Rhea for the SmackDown title. But now we're getting Tyra King, Seth Rollins, and Logan Paul. We're getting the replay of them going at it last week. But how y'all doing, folks? How y'all doing? Sasha dolls, what? Oh, I have Paige dolls and Sasha dolls. There you go. Fair enough. Or do you mean action figures? Mickey, WWE Intergalactic Championship belt. No, pause. Don't say that. That'll be something that Tony Khan does, because we've already had the All-Atlantic change into the Intergalactic Planetary. I guess maybe shout out the Beastie Boys, but the international of, taking the Intercontinental title and let me copy your homework, but just not make it seem like I'm copying your homework. As we've got Seth Rollins backstage in his most bedazzled Elton Johnny type outfit, I feel. Did anyone take Roman over Cody? In our predictions, you're going to have to watch that. And I mean, there's still the potential that it could change. I mean, we're here quite a bit of things may sway the mood. And speaking of swaying the mood, we've got positive, motivational Mustafa Ali interrupting Seth Rollins right now. And has WWE just ran out of attire for wrestlers and everything? They're just now having to go back through everything that they had from the late 90s or the 90s, the late 80s, early 2000s here, because Mustafa Ali out here looking like he's about to be in a late 90s, early 2000s boy band video. And I don't get the whole Mustafa Ali thing. And I guess as he's preaching the power of positivity, I should be very positive on it. But are we going to set up a match between Seth Rollins and Mustafa Ali tonight? Is that where we're going to build? Oh, yep. And then we'll get Logan Paul to interfere. Heather KJ is taking a little pause for the cause right now. Gilly says, I love Asuka, but I don't think they put the title on her. Asuka's awesome, but she barely speaks English. Io speaks better English than Asuka. That shouldn't hold someone back from being a champion. What happened to professional wrestling? We were just talking about with Lita, how she did pretty much all of her talking in the ring. She didn't have to sit there and cut a fantastic promo. You still thought that she's so yeah. Up next, we're getting Seth Rollins versus Mustafa Ali. So give me your predictions, folks, for that match if you want. And why is it Seth Rollins? Or actually, no, Christ, it'll probably end up being Ali because of DQ. But anyways, Asuka's a big enough badass and was built enough, and they did well enough with her in NXT that she doesn't need to cut all of the greatest promos and everything. She can just come out there and just look like a badass, and you're already intimidated by her. That's build her up that way. Seth Rollins for the win. I think Bianca loses, but wins Queen of the Ring, and Montez wins King of the Ring. That's not a bad shout, Smile Mark. Seth kicked out Mustafa Ali. Fair enough. WWE is petty like that, though. Yeah, that is a little bit true. Well, Vince was. I feel like hopefully Hunter's moved away from that, I would say. Would you give Kenny versus El Hijo del Vikingo 5 stars from last week on Dynamite? Yes or no?
No.
No?
4.5.
4 3/4.
Yeah,
4
I mean, listen,
8/9.
it was exciting. There was a lot of pops. The fans were into it. We were into it. I don't want to hate on the match. It was really enjoyable, but there wasn't a lot to it as far as it was spot. Kenny wins.
That's kind of what I predicted that match was going to be.
Yeah.
Here's a spot of I respectfully, and I'm sure somebody's going to clip this and get him upset, but I feel like at times with that match, you could have gone a little bit of you were setting up for a spot, and then it was blatant. There was no. I understand having no story built to it, but ring psychology is still one fucking thing that I personally, as a wrestling fan, pay attention to, and I want to believe, even if I don't give a shit why you two are fighting, but at least make it believe like that you're fighting.
Does anyone in the chat know how many stars that Meltzer gave that match? I'm curious.
I'm gonna have to look that up here. Talk to the people while I look.
Where KJ at? Heather, I am right here. Sorry, I had some vitamins stuck in my throat.
Pause.
Yeah, it's hard to talk when you're trying not to die. You're back. I am. Who's as far? Well, right now, so far we've had Damage Control, All Control Delete, going face to face with Trish, Lita, and Becky. Team Beck's Extreme. Beck's Extreme faction. Yeah, that's about it.
He gave it 5 stars. I see Steve commented that he gave it 5 stars, but yes,
5 stars.
5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars.
Yeah, like not one single punch. I mean, I get the point, right? Like it wasn't a fight between two guys that had really cool moves in it. Like, I think that's what people forget when you think of the Extreme, like when you think of the Jeff Hardys and such. There was like shit going on. Like they were fighting.
You built to the spot. You didn't just have the spot,
right?
Everybody just watched the fucking highlights and everything, and just that's what they did during the match. No, watch the actual fucking match.
Yeah, no, I hear you. We are in commercial break, but we are getting back to the chat, folks, and keep it coming. Keep this chat going. Keep your friends showing up, and keep these views going high. We just passed, 1.5K subs. It's been a good start to 2023 for the channel, and we appreciate all the love. But Aaron, I almost said A-Town and Aaron at the same time. Aaron says, KJ and Nick, Jacob Fatu a free agent. He's still under contract as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Could he be a surprise at Mania? It would be cool. We've been talking about it for a while.
I would want it, but an MLW contract seem almost damn near a hooker by crook type deal. Like they're maybe not the most wrestler friendly contracts, I'll say that, but yeah, he's still under contract. Much like I'd like to see a guy like Alex Hammerstone as well just show up in the Fed.
Yeah,
he's modern day. He could be modern day and could actually work Hulk Hogan.
Right? Give us the link drop and everything. Fuck it.
Dwayne, if you're I know you probably already cast him and everything like that, and you should have cast it out Hammerstone as Hogan in there, but I'm sure you've done enough to make it, I was great, right? And everybody else just looked small compared to me.
Right? What?
I don't think that's the first what that I've done on the stream so far tonight.
It might be. I know Victor was on a roll earlier, and you didn't take the bait.
Yeah, well.
We're getting Seth Rollins versus Mustafa Ali. So if you want to make a prediction on that, we are all ears.
And why is it Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Unless you get, and this is what I think could happen though, is we still get DQ, or maybe it's after the match we get Logan Paul comes out and he pretends to be a boxer and punches Seth again.
Yeah, as much as the WWE and wrestling in general are a big fan of the roll-up wins, I do not see Seth taking a loss to Ali just because Logan distracted him.
And I'll say this, for someone like Mustafa Ali, who has been publicly out there about how much he's disagreed with creative and wanted to, he's over as a babyface. I'm still waiting. I'm telling you, if Cody wins at Mania, probably the next feud after that for the belt is Seth versus Cody.
Yo, you see Ali there? Just stand there,
scratching his head.
Yeah. I don't know. Am I what am I in this role here?
Right. Well, that's the thing, is what I was saying of with how much Ali's been openly, publicly, issues with creative, and he wants to do his thing, but they won't let him do it and all of that. Is this what he wanted to do?
Send him
the motivational Mustafa.
Yeah, send him.
No.
Now, rumor is Trips likes him, but I just feel he's very bland. He's very I'm not invested in you. You haven't told me anything that makes and he's not a bad wrestler. He's a great.
He was good until after him and Cedric, after they ended 205 Live, the match that him and Cedric had where he was cutting the promos on Twitter and everything like that was great.
Fair enough.
And then ever since then, they've lost the fucking plot, and now he's so far out to pasture.
Yeah.
Like he might, it might take a minute or take a hard reset to bring him back.
Well, fuck. Oh, huge clothesline. I remember remember the vignettes where he was walking down the street talking about being a cop and
right.
Chicago, and even that didn't get.
He was supposed to be the SmackDown hacker.
Well, then you have the whole retribution thing. Dude, that was one of I have a really good idea and completely fucked it up because there was something there, but they just didn't deliver it right. The match.
Somewhere Bray Wyatt was at home taking notes.
Yeah.
Shots fired. As Mustafa Ali's hanging in the trio. Whoa, no.
Is the crowd this hyped or boosted? I think it's hyped as shit, to be 100% honest with you.
Every time they cut away, it's hype. So
if they were piping in the woes, they would have stopped well before. That kept going for a solid 80 to 90 seconds. Wow, that is beautiful.
1, 2, 3, and Seth Rollins picks up the win.
Look at it. No, the crowd is standing. They're clapping. Are they giving a little, I can't speak whether or not my ear is not acute enough to go, but usually you catch the piping when nobody's moving.
Yeah, you can pair it up and everybody's just mums the word, but then all of a sudden you hear everyone cheering.
You see all the fans on the hard cam there at the counting with them. 1, 2.
Well, like I said, this is WrestleMania week. Strap the gun and strap the fuck in.
Right.
Because it's going to be a fucking fun ass ride. Oh, you skipped what I was going to read.
All right.
Ali might be the next Dolph. Well, he did feud with Dolph, so I think they might have, body switched or body switched there.
Yeah. See, I think there's opportunity with Ali as far as, you find him a tag team partner, you give him some stuff to do, you put him in maybe a faction or a group where he's the second or third guy, not the leader.
Retribution.
Yeah, him and the leader.
He was cool with the Sub-Zero gimmick and shit.
Oh, yeah, that went over like a fucking lead balloon.
No, because that's what you led to at 205, and that's what got him over initially.
Well, 205.
And then 205 caved in on itself.
Yeah, well, that's because Vince never understood and couldn't get cruiserweight.
He's like, what? They're not jacked up, beefy boys? What?
Right. All right, take these. We'll sign them. All right, give me those small guys. Make them wrestle like the
They
big
can
guys.
get thrown around by the big guys, right?
Yeah, like just, but that's what, like, remember the light heavyweight division? That's all it was little guys wrestling like the big guys. Headlock, head scissors,
Right.
like, armbar. Move 184, armbar.
And in 5 days.
Oh, Seth is pissed at Logan for dicking up his
Yeah,
gear.
and that's so during my prediction or our prediction show. Sorry, my prediction on this match during our prediction show is what I was trying to say. With Seth to me has to win.
Yeah.
It's undeniable, and it's a little.
I
say pipe bomb me in the sense of, to me, I agree with everything what he said. He's saying what a lot of people are thinking, but just no one else can say it and not take heat with it.
Right. But
Seth's already taken heat for less shit. So
I just think if Logan has a really good match with Seth, and Seth's already known as a workhorse, everyone that you hear from, no one's like, Seth can't go.
He's sitting there. Well, no, he's tossing up the mic, and literally the crowd's just singing him off. Like,
he's over his shit. He kind of stole. He got the Johnny Drip Drip stole. He's got Nakamura's opening stole. Like, he's got.
He's the amalgamation. He's like, yeah, you took Johnny. You took John Morrison. You took Nakamura. You took Bobby Roode. And who just added Seth Rollins, and you formed them together, and this is fantastic.
For the question of, like, is it being boosted or is it being piped in? You look at this audience right now; they're singing. They're singing.
Yeah, not a Rudy Blue chance in hell that this is piped in audio. I'm still telling you.
But what if Paul did beat him? If there was a way, like maybe he gets screwed. Jake Paul helps him cheat. It's a low blow. And Logan Paul, to me, does that not kind of instantaneously validate Logan Paul? Like, really shuts up some of the haters?
But do you need to do that?
Yeah, if he's sticking around a little bit.
But would you rather at the cost of Seth Rollins, who
I don't think
might be the next in line for a world title shot? I do not envy Adam Pearce right now, because he's in the middle of a Baron Corbin and a Chelsea Green sandwich.
Oh, yeah, that's not a fun sandwich to be in.
As Baron's begging of, I don't need to have a WrestleMania match. I just want to get booked. Like, I just want to do something.
A match?
Piper Niven doesn't want anything to do with you. Do not mansplain. Oh, my. Sonya's going to be her partner. Jesus H. Christ.
Chelsea's good
at being annoying as shit.
And look, this is where we talked about it on our prediction show, folks. Not to give a spoiler away, because you should go check out that 3 hours of fun. But here you go. Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green work their way in.
The complaint, you can call yourselves the complaint department. Yes. Adam Pearce is already, I'm a fan of this man if I wasn't before.
Right? Love someone today. Cheers.
Oh, Adam Pearce is just as a human being is fantastic. I'm saying as the character on
AEW TV. Needs this dude. Like a dude, they
have it in Tony Schiavone. They just refuse to fucking acknowledge it.
But see, to me, Tony Schiavone is such a schmuck. Like, I want someone better. Like someone.
But that's AEW is schmucks, smucks and stooges,
schmucks and stooges, and Clubber Lang.
But so we're getting a qualifying match.
Yes,
tonight we're getting Michin, aka Miriam, and
that's amazing.
Candace,
Corbin, are you serious? I got to deal with them, and I can't get shit.
Right. Oh, but we're getting them versus, I guess, the complaint department of Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, and that's forever now what I'm calling them. Even though I would have liked to have seen Sonya paired up in a faction with Ronda and Shayna, but
no, but I think I know people are, Chelsea Green. No, she's getting on her nerves in a real good way, and her interactions with Pierce have been good. And I mean, They jobbed her out for a couple months. We'll see what happens now. I mean, she can wrestle, dude. She's not a slouch in the ring. So just give it time with Chelsea.
Oh, I thought I was about to say with Sonya. I was gonna say,
Sonya
well,
too. I really do.
We know she rides with that thing like Arn Anderson though too. So you don't want to pull up on Sonya Deville.
No. Took
you a minute.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? No. I was like, yeah, your ass, right? No, she'll pop you one. Yeah, okay. Almost spilled my drink. The complaint department is perfect. Yeah, there you go. But at least
he's not doofus Pierce. Pierce is good.
Doofus side to him, which I think is good.
He has that, like what you got with those authority figures back, like when they did authority figures, right? Of just that kind of sarcastic-y smirk of that manages to fall into the right comeuppance type situation. Yeah. Has that nice dash of wit.
Yeah, and I think for a while, especially when Pierce was first getting into this role, he very much was like, all right, this is what's happening. And he was very much like, give the direction, get out of the way. Now you see him bantering, you see him being funny. Like that, what a fucking wicked line, right? Like he is coming to his own. He fits the role well. And like I said, I think AEW needs like an Adam Pierce type. That's what Jericho should be.
No.
He can still get his sing-alongs, and look, you get him out of the ring.
No, because he'll sit there and he'll just do nothing but to get himself over.
True story.
He'll do. Remember how everybody joked about with Mick Foley with the cheap Mick Foley pop like that I do from time to time. Of, there's no place I'd rather be than right here with the Wrestling for Life Network. Chris Jericho would do that 18 times a show.
Right. No, but I think, again, it's just my way to get him out of the ring. But, I mean, at least people know him and understand, like, well, if you really wanted. They had Regal. I agree. Regal would have worked, but I don't
Regal's been on record, and I watched an interview with him on Inside the Rope, so he didn't want that.
Yeah.
At that point in his time, in his life, he just wanted to be in ring, and that was it.
Yeah. And, I get that. And, again, if you saw it on NXT, did you really want to see it in AEW? Probably not the best for them. But they could have made QT Marshall the guy instead of this.
No, he'd be TMZ. It'd be QTV.
Yeah, it's fucking nonsense.
Blech.
Taz. Right?
I'll choke you out, bro. If you don't want to do this match, my son will choke you out.
Right?
You can't choke me out because I don't got no neck.
Bring back GM Sting. Fuck.
With the Crow? No. We don't need Joker Sting.
Pierce's former NWA champion, not a doofus. It's true. He's got credibility.
Yeah.
I mean, injuries change. Like, I mean, Corey, same thing. Like, I didn't see a ton of Corey Graves, but what I have seen and what I have heard, he was good. He was great. He was a tag team partner with champion with Neville. Like,
well, you remember when there was the credibility when we almost potentially got Adam Pierce versus Roman Reigns, and a lot of people really did some digging into the credibility of Adam Pierce and what Scrap Daddy can do in the ring. Yeah, right. Double J could do it if he actually ever did any of his backstage shit ever, if he just stayed backstage.
Again, another guy like him as the GM would get him off, and he has enough credibility where if a wrestler gets in his face and says, you know what, I don't like your decision, he's like, do I need to whoop your ass? And he's got a little bit of clout, right?
Yeah, well, what are you going to do about it, slap nuts?
Right? You hold back his guitar.
Broke a million guitars, never drew a dime.
All right, folks. I want an over-under on combined weight.
1 metric ton.
1 metric ton.
Actually, I should look that up as to what a metric ton is before I say that.
350, what are they, like combined total of like 700 pounds? 750? Maybe.
A metric ton is 1,000 pounds. Both of these men combined are not a 500 pound.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting that far. Hey, dude, we got our first entry into the Battle Royal.
The Wrestling for Life Battle Royal.
Yes. So the first competitor is going to be Tex
We should
Green.
just save these, and then on like SmackDown, we just pick one out of a fucking hat, and that's like the armbar.
Right? Armbar, right? Text green game over, cat orange whistling. Which, based on my visual, is green game over and a cat whistling.
Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, A, B.
Right. So thank you for the sticker. And anyone else wants to join the Battle Royal tonight.
Well, even that, we got the super chat, we got the super stickers. If you want to make sure you get your point across, if you just want to help support the channel and everything, and help, us keep doing what we're doing and everything, and help drive away the insanity of being here pretty much round the clock for WrestleMania. Why?
That feels so specific, Excalibur. 565 pounds. I overshot by like 100.
I think this man just Googled their weights and then just did plus.
Yeah, like Brock's got to be what? They're going to tell us he's 250. Now, remember, weigh-ins don't, like right now, Cody's probably sitting backstage with PTSD seeing a weigh-in on a wrestling show because we all know how well that went for him.
But no, this is where you slide the scale and you got a weighted scale and etc.
Right?
Like, I'm expecting they're going to make Omos weigh like fucking 700 pounds or something.
That's what I mean. Like, what are they going to come in at? 700? Excalibur saying 565. The metric ton is 2,240 pounds. A short ton is 2,000 pounds. There's a joke in there.
No, Google lied to me then. Oh no, it is 2,000. Sorry, I just read it in kilograms. I caught the Canadian.
Oh, you read it in the metric system. Way to go, buddy! I'm converting you
slowly but surely.
Right?
I think it's about that time, eh? Oh, Canada,
pop in your liquor. Let's go, buddy.
Maple syrup. By the way, I know the actual lyrics. No,
I imagine you do, but
yeah, a little bit. Omos a solid 420. Well, no, that's what it is around here. That's the vitamin scale.
I'm definitely feeling 420 pounds right now.
Okie dokie. Omos stepping on the scale. Well, I saw people saying if they wanted to imitate the UFC with this, with the whole like my hand's bigger than your hand, we get the weigh-ins. Like, where's Joe Rogan?
Almost might have broke the rules of weigh-ins. What's the rule? What rule did he break?
Over 400 pounds. All right, so just
should they not
question mark?
Right? Should they not have like a fucking truck scale for this? This doctor's office fucking scale ain't gonna do it.
Side of the highway. You need a state trooper to execute this.
Over
400. Why do we not have like them actually getting down to like the bit on the scale? Like we just have over 400 pounds, just 4 question mark.
Like they basically
Brock Lesnar gonna have to be out here in the towel like the UFC weigh-ins and he's gonna make weight.
They weighed him and then they were like, he's fucking heavy. That's all they did. We knew he was 400 plus pounds. We've been told that the weigh-in was to find out how much.
Right.
Does Brock get weighed in with his cowboy boots and his hat on?
I've seen people, because half the time with the UFC, that shit's ceremonial. Like they weighed in beforehand of what they actually weigh in. This is more of just to come out here and do the pomp and circumstance, the hot dog and the grandstanding. But
yeah, Brock 285 easy.
This is the only man that had, like I've said, this is the alpha male of our species. This is the man that had to cut weight to compete in the UFC heavyweight division. He set the fucking bar as to what you could compete at in the UFC heavyweight division. This man has goddamn lunchboxes for fists. He fucking NFL tackled Heath Herring across the fucking octagon. This man made mincemeat out of Rainy Couture.
Right? No, he did. I mean, well, dude, when you got to fucking make custom gloves for a guy, Jesus.
We're not getting a weigh-in. We're getting Brock going to town on Omos, but then Brock goes for the scale and eats a big boot.
Brock says, fuck this weigh-in shit. I'm sitting at 305 right now. I don't want people to know that.
Right. I'm trying to get back in USADA, my guy.
Oh, Brock eats a fucking dude. I just have a feeling like this is going to break down.
The crowd is deafening with Suplex City.
Buddy, I have a feeling like this match is going to break down to a shoot. Like Omos is going to fucking throw one too many potatoes, and Brock's going to fucking lay him out. Like
odds on if we're gonna see a receipt in this match, because we saw a receipt in the triple threat between him, Kane, and Braun. So
when you see that blood rolling down Brock's lip, fucking run. I don't care who you are.
No, I think once we get to either Brock's going to get him down and we're going to see a couple elbows of just, you need to loosen the fuck up, kid.
I'm curious.
Or we're going to get Brock with one good, clean, straight, like right cross against Omos's jaw. Yeah. That man's going to buckle to one knee real fucking quick.
They got to bring in somebody who's doing commentary for WrestleMania, because Kevin Patrick is the most fucking bland motherfucker.
No, it'll be Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and if fingers crossed, I'm hoping, and this is smoking all of the hopium, and I guess throwing this out there, and maybe who'll hear it, or maybe WWE or somebody will hear it and it'll happen, is Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
But what I think it'll be is going to be Cole, Corey, and
I'm okay with that. I don't love Cole at times. Cole's been better since Vince stopped yelling at him. But Patrick is just. Oh, and I know we've said this a million times, but I'm just watching this moment. There's these two giant men, and this is where I miss like a JR, like, son of a bitch. He hit him with the scale.
Right, but this is why we're the alternative commentary for everything like that, because you can still watch the show and just have it on mute, and we'll just give you the better commentary than, Kevin Patrick, Excalibur, of the list goes on and on and on and on.
On and on and on and on, and now we're getting a Charlotte Flair package. This is interesting shit. My question was, how do you feel about them building this match as Brock as the underdog? And have they done it well? Are we excited for this yet? Because I still don't think it's a thing.
The only thing you're excited for this, honestly, is because of physical feats of strength. This is watching strongman. This is watching a car crash. This is just watching fucking King Kong versus Godzilla. This is watching two kaijus fight. You're not excited for the match. You're just excited to watch two gigantic human fucking beings go at it.
Yeah, and I think
seeing what's going to happen.
The way they're working into it, and again, I'm not overly excited about the prospect of this, but it does have potential to kind of be a very simplified, strong match in the sense of, Omos comes out and he's the guy that has Brock's number, and he's just kicking him and punching him, keep him down. When Brock hulks up, the place will go unglued. He hits a bunch of suplexes, hits an F5. Bob's your uncle, Betty's your aunt. We go home.
Right. As I've got Rhea backstage right now. How you doing?
Rhea's taking this dub. Absolutely.
Easily.
Easily is a strong word, motherfucker.
I'm a strong human being. I'm gonna say she's easily taking this win. It's not for it'll be close. It'll get compelling.
Right.
But you're gonna have, especially if you move this to the main event of night one, and Rhea takes the L. Oh, boo earns.
That would listen. If that, dude, I think if that's the main event and that's how it ends, I think that's as flat as fuck. If as far as walking off of Mania,
absolutely.
No offense to Charlotte, I think she's great, but if that's the last thing we see at the end of Mania night one, where I think we're going to be a little bit like, well, that was that. See you tomorrow.
But we've got an 8-man tag team match coming up right now. We've got the Street Profits coming out right now. They look a little bit more like New York Knicks, but I think it's supposed to be some Phoenix Suns type gear.
Right. Welcome back, JV. Yeah, they're coming. They are in Phoenix tonight, right? So that makes sense.
Everybody's just laughing at you he heavy as hell. It's raining sideways.
Right.
This is KJ White with your weigh-in report. He heavy as hell. This is a fucking Rick Ross. You a big motherfucker.
Yeah. He's big
That's
as
what
shit.
they
I don't know what I'm doing out here.
Trade. We'll trade. I saw somebody say Drake Maverick for AEW GM. 100% fine. We'll trade that, and we get Rick Ross when Omos weighs in, just going, "You a big motherfucker."
Right? Yeah, that's what that weigh-in needed was Rick Ross.
Yeah, we have that for Rick Ross looking at Keith Lee, but we don't have that for Omos.
Yeah, right. First up on the scale, Omos. Oh.
But we've got Brawny, the O'Shea. We've got the O'Shea boys. We've got the Little Giants, O'Shea boys.
The O'Shea with the Little Giants. I love that movie. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got the Ron O'Shea coming out to the ring, guys.
I'm forever now calling them the O'Shea boys. They're Little Giants to me from now on. 100%. Well, did you see the picture that's been floating around of Cody with Braun up on his shoulders?
Yes.
And, you know,
I like it. So now we're getting an 8-man tag. See, this is timeout. Bear with me, folks, because I know for anyone that thinks we use AEW as a punching bag too often, I got some thoughts here for this one. How the fuck do you give us an 8-man tag match 4 days or 5 days or 6 days before Mania when you're going to give us a fucking fatal 4-way with the same 8 people? Is that not cutting a slice of pizza a little thin? Are we not being a little fucking
give us CM Punk versus John Moxley 10 days before you give us CM Punk versus John Moxley at a pay-per-view?
Yes, that's worse.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there. That's fucking bad. Like, dude, we're not thrilled about this showcase match that you came up with. You're going to give us the goods tonight. What are they going to do different other than be able to tag?
They have to tag more at that point. They have to play slap hands. Slap hands. Why the
fuck would you put this in the middle of your show? The show was going pretty good.
All right. And that's like we said on our prediction show. Again, I feel like we keep giving spoilers for it, but of that you have some of these matches that are literally just set up there to be your pause for the cause, your grab a snack, your take a break, your catch your breath between some of these matches.
So to me, that this right here speaks volumes to that exact sentiment. We talked about it on Sunday, where these showcase matches are essentially action-packed intermissions. All right, folks, go refill your drinks, go unload your bladder. Because, dude, literally, there's no reason to give us this. An 8-man tag and a fatal 4-way tag a few days apart, and we weren't excited about either. What the fuck are we doing?
Literally within the same week. I mean, then again, we can't really bag because people were excited for AEW giving us the best out of 7 series and everything, and it was just the same trios every single time.
That was a terrible idea because you didn't have a plan other than let's just keep doing the same shit.
Fair enough.
Right. Well, welcome to the channel, Bonnie. Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
I was going to say, well, speaking of taking pauses for the causes and just, action accelerated break matches.
Ooh. Oh, look, shutting my shit down. All right, folks. Nick's going to take a little break. You're going to ride with me through this commercial break and into the upcoming 8-man tag. If you want to make a prediction on who is going to take the 8-man tag tonight, I'm just going to go with the baby faces because why the fuck not? I don't know. This one is Maurice is a Canadian queen. Good show. We talk a lot about Canadians on this channel. Maurice doesn't get brought up a lot. I appreciate that. She's not Trish, but she's lovely. Under 875 pounds, Curtis. What did we end up at? Oh, yeah, we didn't weigh Brock. I'm guessing if Omos was 410, Brock maybe 3, so 710 is not bad. Under, you were right. I went too high. I'm watching the USA game right now. In what sport? I don't know what's happening. Where is Nigel McGuinness? Yeah, they let Nigel go, and I think that they could use Nigel. Nigel's good. I mean, a guy that really understands wrestling. We know his pedigree. We know from his history from Ring of Honor. I like Nigel. Nigel's definitely better than Kevin. I don't know who is related to Kevin Patrick. I don't know whose baby he has kidnapped. I don't know whose nudes he has saved on his phone. But there has to be an explanation for this man sitting there every week and boring us the fuck to death. You need somebody with passion driving the show. It is the commentator's job to let everyone out there know what they should be feeling. You have to echo what the visual is. We're seeing Brock Lesnar, this giant man, be pushed around by a even bigger man, and the announcer's not screaming and yelling and thinking, making us believe that this is the craziest shit possible, right? Imagine you tuned into the, storm watch and the guy out in the hurricane's like, everything's lovely. Everything's going very well. And the fucking place around him's exploding, right? Like, it's crazy. But I got Finn Balor on my screen now, if you guys are keeping track at home. If you are just tuning in, don't forget, like, subscribe, be a part of the family. We are the wrestling fans you can't get in your real life. And we are the alternative commentary to all the wrestling out there. Nobody does it at our level. And you call it a watch party, watch along, live stream, you call it whatever you will. It's not better anywhere but here. And that was a real clunky way to get through that. But Finn Balor is giving his speech about Hell in a Cell. I do believe he's going to tease us about the demon. Edge asked for the demon. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there you go. Ah, we got a tease. It's the demon. Now, so there you go. There you go. You want some hype? You want to amp up a Hell in a Cell? And I think this match has been very overlooked. We haven't talked a lot about it. I think the Hell in a Cell has potential to keep us talking about it for a long time. I think Finn Balor is going to want people to really be reminded of what he can do. We haven't had a whole lot of like, oh, fuck, do you remember that Finn Balor match? Been a long time since that's happened, and not necessarily because of him. I mean, booking is booking. Give us Byron Sack. Ooh. Damian. Whoa. Woo. Shoes, please. I like it. I like it. So we got Alpha Academy and Otis hanging on, but I feel like WrestleMania will be the death of Alpha Academy. And yeah, I mean, I don't get why we're getting this match. I really don't. It's the demon. How you guys feeling about the demon? I'm pumped. I think it'll be good. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a memorable match. I really do. And is Edge kind of becoming like Mr. Hell in a Cell? Is he really starting to get that status of like, Edge is taking you to hell? Let's go again. That's dope. Valhalla coming out. The two big beefy boys. Yeah, I just wish they would tone down themselves just a bit. Kind of be more true to who they used to be. Both these guys can wrestle. Both of them are big men. They're so... If they weren't booked like shit and a little cartoony, man, the Viking Raiders have a lot to offer, especially tag team wrestling. Right? The Viking Raiders hit the ring, ignoring Alpha Academy altogether because, well, who wants to talk to the Alpha Academy? The EST of WWE could confront Dominic. Why? I don't get it. How? I got Braun team for the win. Jason Baker made a new mask for the demon. There you go. Nice. We got Cow. Moo. Braun team for the win. What does this one say? A lot of big matches, and I am a fan of this weekend. Cena Theory, IC title, tag titles. Roman, Cody, Rhea, Charlotte, Rollins, Paul. Also think Bianca, Asuka, and Edge, Balor are going under the radar. David, buddy, I was just saying that this weekend. I admit, 2-3 weeks ago, I was like, fuck, I don't know. This card seems like it's shaping up weird. I'm not really sure. Like, Bray's going to fight Bobby. Brock and Omos can't be a thing. And now we're getting there, and I'm like, I'm curious how Brock and Omos goes now. I'm curious. I want to see it. I want to know what how they play this. I think they've set it up in a really good way, and I think the crowd's going to enjoy it. But I picked Omos to win, and I don't know if I'm crazy, but we'll get into that over this weekend. But yes, I think Logan Paul and Rollins are going to be outstanding. Belair and Asuka, I mean, they both can wrestle. They're both talented, very under the radar. Edge Balor, I just finished saying the same thing, Dave. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Hell in the Cell a little bit. Plus, you add in Edge is going to have a good entrance. Finn with the Demon is going to have a really big entrance. Going to get a really big pop for the return of the Demon. And then the two guys are going to want to show up and show out. Yeah, then the Bloodline storyline. Like I look at your list here, tag titles, right? So again, we're even debating on who should be the main event because there's enough matches that could be the main event. Night 1, we know who night 2 is. This is a slept on card a little bit, Nick, a little bit, and creeped up on you. It's like my vitamins. Just sometimes it comes in the back door, creep. Ricochet and Braun working on some tandem offense. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Yeah, Chad Gable becomes a human pinball. Woo. Otis is going to turn on Chad, and Maxine will be his manager, and Braun will be his Mania. Braun will win at Mania, and Montez and Bianca will turn heel and join the Hurt Business. All right, Jason. There's a lot to unpack with this one. Let's start at the beginning. Otis is going to turn on Chad. I think the Alpha Academy is done at Mania. We've already seen it building. Otis is going to want to be a model and join. I don't love it. I don't love the idea. I think the Maximum Male models. Oh, now we're just getting a standoff because we're going to see this in 5 days. Like, this is exactly what we're going to get on the weekend. Why is it happening now? But I think that it's going to be a no match. Like, the ref's just going to give up in a second. 100%. Come on. Just wave it out. Let's go home. Holy shit. Hey, we bring that scale back. I want to know what the combined weight in the ring right now is. Right? What are we doing? My fellow beard man, Ivar, Braun, and I guess they all three have pretty stellar beards. And Otis. Thank God they let Otis grow his beard back. Do y'all remember when Otis didn't have a beard? He looked like somebody put fucking wrestling trunks on a butterball turkey. Otis hammers Montez. I really like the idea, and I really thought, I don't know about going heel, but Belair and Montez getting a push together because of the reality show. Braun and Ricochet, I think that's who I picked for the win. I think. I can't remember. I got to watch it with the tape. Nick will call me out right away. No, KJ. But yeah, I mean, the baby faces seem like a good answer here. A lot of spots. You'll have a lot of brawling, and then, a big moment because the fans like Braun. The fans like Ricochet. Hey, maybe Ricochet take on whoever wins at Mania. I have no idea. Ricochet. A little bit TLC creep. There you go. WWE always gives the candy away. Yeah, at times. I mean, that was one of the downfalls of one of the the not so good side effects of the Attitude Era where, WCW started pushing the issue and more wrestling good matches were given up on free TV. I mean, everybody goes back to Hogan and Goldberg, but it wasn't just that. There was a bunch of matches that shouldn't happen on TV, but it all became about the ratings. The ratings were driving everything. So, yeah, at times. But to me, like, this isn't even a ratings driver. Like, I don't really care for this match right now. And I didn't really care about it at Mania. So giving it to me now makes me care less about Mania. More likely to take a pause for the cause during this match by the time we get to Mania. We need the Royal Rumble by the numbers guy. He'll tell us the combined weight. There you go. Where's that dude? That's a lot of big, beefy boys in the ring all together, all at one time. What? What did I miss? I want to see the first one. Oh, there you go. Yeah, no, that's not that's funny as shit. Yeah, that's a football play. I love it. I like it. Don't go there. No. Too bad LA Knight and Bobby Lashley are relegated to the Andre Battle Royal on SmackDown. Paul, I do think there's more here. I really do. I think there's more here because, yeah, it might be relegated right now, but I've seen stories that it could lead to them two fighting at Mania. I'm okay with it. LA Knight, I believe, should be on Mania. Bobby Lashley should be on Mania. More than other people that we're getting, so let's make it work. Then there's rumors of, does somehow Bray Wyatt get involved and drag Bobby back into this the night before? Bobby Lashley wins the Battle Royal and lights out, and here come Bray all the way back. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here, but I think we have to find a way to get both these men in the in Mania, and I don't feel like LA Knight's been done well. And I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. I think LA Knight deserves better from the WWE. And he's talented. He's getting himself over. Even as a heel, like, people are chanting along with the Yaz. And he has to take a moment and go, shut your mouths, to remind everybody I'm a little bit of a heel still. Gable could get the pin even though he needs Jason Jordan as his tag team partner. Oh, Jordan. They were good. They were good, buddy. But I think we're about to see the end of the Alpha Academy. I think we're going to see, Shorty G get a bit of a rub, a bit of a push. I don't know what that means or looks like. He's not going to be going after the world champion anytime soon, but I don't know. Chad Gable chasing Austin Theory around for a few months might work. I mean, on the mic, it should work. I enjoy 8-man tag matches. Are you related to Teddy Long, Damian? In AEW, KJ, Nick, that's my opinion. Oh, you enjoy 8-man tag matches in AEW, but not in WWE. Is that what you're saying? But I don't mind an 8-man tag match. I'm all for it if there's a reason, if there's two groups of people mad at each other. This match doesn't. We're going to see this in a couple days. The only difference is 2 of the guys are going to be on one buckle and 2 other guys are going to be on the other buckle. So all 4 corners are covered. It doesn't make sense to give us this right now. And right back to Maxine watching Otis because, listen, Maxine's got it down. She understands. Those less than conventional gentlemen are where it's at. She knows what's
wait. I came back at the wrong fucking time, as right as you said, a less than conventional gentleman.
Right?
I was about to come in here nice and saying, well, speaking of, tag teams that, have reached the end, but we're at the beginning of, we're nowhere near the end. We'll never reach the end and everything. Because you're talking about Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, but then I guess I come in at unconventional men.
There you go.
Well, I mean, if the shoe fits, sometimes you got to fucking 2-step in that bitch.
Slide it on, Cinderella.
Oh, at least buy me dinner first. God damn it.
If Cody wins and Roman goes away for a while, who'd Cody feud with next?
Seth fracking Rollins.
Randy frickin' Orton.
Randy Bobandy Orton.
Randy Bobandy Orton, yeah. Yeah, those are 2 good front runners. I mean, I'd be all for, like, hey, the rumor is, so yeah, Monday night.
What if we get, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what if Gunther loses the IC title, and then that's the next layup that we get?
That's a valid shot, and I voted against Gunther, kind of hoping for that. Like, I got my hopium on that one, where Gunther drops the title and then moves on to bigger and better things because I think he's outstanding.
JV instantly going to Jay White. I mean, that's AJ's even not a bad shout. You get back to the Bullet Club versus.
But I mean, you got babyface Cody standing in the ring. Imagine AJ's music hits. He comes out with the fucking Good Brothers as a bit of a pop. And then Jay White slides in from behind and lays out Cody. And you realize.
Oh, shit. I wasn't even going there. I was just saying of you, AJ versus Cody's to me a dream match. A bit.
80. That's what
The Strowman Express is off the hinges.
Oh, shit. Yeah, off the hinges. Another train derailment in 2023.
Oh God! You went there. I unfortunately laid that up for you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Here's a finger roll, and you're
walked into
"Got
that
you, my guy."
Nick the Quick, what's good? Oh shit, I don't know if that you want that one. Quick Draw McGraw. Nick the
Pause.
Quick.
How you?
I got the magic stick. We're done.
50
Speaking of
Cent
going off
lyrics
the
just
rails,
came flooding to my head. And instantly though, the one that came to the front was like one that we can't really say of just I don't believe you. Get around and leave you.
right? What is happening? Okay.
Power slam for the 1, 2, 3.
Yo, look at
So the
this. Look at
babyface team
this.
wins.
Look at this. Ford up and over Braun. I love it.
The annexation of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, right? The misdirection play.
Yeah.
So what the fuck will be different on Sunday now? We just saw cool shit.
Because now you're
going
to have to get the Street Profits versus Brawny the Strowman versus the O'Shea brothers.
But I mean, when
we're going to get the Cowboys versus the Little Giants.
Right? But couldn't you save that spot? That was a cool spot. Wouldn't that be better at Mania? We just saw it. Now when you do it at Mania, I don't give a fuck.
No, because then why would Braun fucking do that if you're supposed to be facing them?
He doesn't know he's coming.
No, well, I thought you were about to say he just doesn't know any better. It's just, Brawny knows the move. Which way did he go? Which way did he go, George?
So if you had the baby faces in this one, you were correct. You get to dot your bingo card. Yeah, as I expected, they're just trying to amp up. And I will say, the crowd in Phoenix, I believe, is live tonight. They're there.
Well, as we can even see with our crowd live and with the numbers and everything like that. Shout out Ryan, Ratnick, C-Money, everybody, all of that. A-Town. But it's the week going into WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. Like I said, this is the Super Bowl week. This is the strap on and strap in of no matter what, whether you have been a fan of WWE this whole time, if you just like pro wrestling every now and then, this is what you tune into.
Right. We got Cody Rhodes in a new jacket looking Jake the Snakey.
It's just a little darker. I mean,
yeah, what's up with this? He is going
he
heel.
Looks like a fucking Street Fighter character every time. Like,
yo, did you see Cardona put the thing out with?
Yeah, I wanted to see it actually there because everybody, the internet's going fucking wild of that.
Right.
It's alleged that Cardona at least has the outline of the Indie God tattoo in the same spot Cody's got the neck tattoo.
Right. No, Cardona.
Fun fact, Cardona, Zack Ryder was Cody Rhodes' last WWE loss since he's returned.
And that's another possibility of like everyone keeps talking about it. And Cardona loves trolling the people. I'd consider it. Maybe. I don't know. Look at my ring gear right before Rumble. Listen, Cardona's in a groove. He fucks with everybody on a constant. And
we just hear woo 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 at WrestleMania.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, maybe not the night of Mania. I think Mania is going to end with Cody on the fucking court, on the ring, hands up, fireworks everywhere. That's how we end Mania. But the Monday after Mania presents so many fucking questions and so many possibilities.
I like this, but I agree with you. But I also do really like this. This
salsa
and rum in his soul. We have a Cuban Cody Rhodes. No, be cigars and rum.
Right? No kidding.
Sasha Graham and Kathy Kelly. What? Fair enough. But yes, tonight we are getting Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa as we're getting this might have been the first time I've seen this. We might be getting a replay of this. You can let me know, but we're getting a Bloodline kind of segment like Goodfellas of Paul Heyman's playing Joe Pesci or Roman's actually playing Joe Pesci of I'm funny to you? Funny how? Funny like a clown? But I like that. Go ahead. You're muted. I'm
so excited. I'm muted. This to me here is fucking excellent. The Goodfellas, one of my favorite movies ever, but we got them Roman and Paul doing it.
Yeah, well, and I saw people because I hadn't seen it, or if I had, I don't remember it because vitamins. But I saw a lot of people that had seen this online that were saying, like, this shows Roman can act. Like, this is Roman being good. I was like, no, Roman's just been good. This is what he's been doing all along. This has been the Sopranos bloodline storyline.
Roman is just all Roman's story tells us at the end of the day is if you don't let the fans embrace it and do it properly, they never will. And when they took Roman away and let everything take place organically, we see the best Roman Reigns we've ever seen, and he's dominated wrestling for how long now? I wanted all the cursing.
Though, you do have to take into account that I feel like Heyman does have fingertips on this, but I think this has let Roman become who he was going to be.
Look, even with the other people that feud with Roman, I think Paul has such a good hand in everything that happened. Look, breaks the bottle, and this is good shit. I love it. Last week he was asking for WrestleMania tickets. I wish all the cursing was in it. It would be amazing just to watch them curse and swear.
Oh, well, I still think you could have done that, or you could have or also done like a Sopranos type vibe with this, because that's 100%. The bloodline is the mob at this point. But I do think this has really let Roman finally grow into he's comparable. Yeah, you can go back and take your pause. But Roman right now to me is comparable and on par, and it's a bit why we wanted the feud, wanted the match at WrestleMania that we thought might have happened. Of he's on par with Dwayne at this point. He's on par with The Rock. He conveys almost that badass, I guess, a bit more than even Dwayne does, in part because we've seen The Rock play the Tooth Fairy. He's always the smiling, happy, cracking wise guy. He's not the I'm gonna fuck you up heel. So, but we are in commercial break right now, as like I said, KJ's taking a pause for the cause. So I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We are here covering anything and everything. We already were, and now we're doubling down on it when it comes to WrestleMania season. We're here Monday night with Monday Night Raw, the go-home show, the final Raw before WrestleMania. Then we're back here, NXT tomorrow, me and Piff Cliff here for the go-home show for Stand and Deliver, which we'll talk about when we get to Saturday. And then Wednesday, we've got AEW Dynamite, and AEW's trying to stack their card, trying to compete of, oh shit, it's WrestleMania weekend, and AEW doesn't have a big presence outside of whatever we throw on Dynamite. And then Thursday, we're here for Ring of Honor, the go-home show before Supercard of Honor. We're here for Impact, and then we're here for Impact Supercard, or what, I can't remember the exact name, the Multiverse of Madness between Impact and New Japan. And then on Friday, we've got SmackDown, we've got Rampage, and we've also got Supercard of Honor, where I'm gonna lose my mind just when Eddie Kingston wins, and I'm calling it now, when he wins the Ring of Honor World Championship. But that card is absolutely stacked. We've got Shibata on there now. We've got a Reach for the Sky, a Jay Briscoe tribute, Ring of Honor tag team ladder match. So that card is 100% stacked. And then Saturday, we got the XFL lead-in show. We got the pre-show for all of that and everything. It was also got, well, speaking of the XFL, I might see if the game's still on, but, and then we're going right into there of, we ain't going away, folks. We're here to be your pre-show, your hangout show, your, build up for all of WrestleMania, because like we've said, or at least I've said, this is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. But we ain't going home until night one wraps up, and even then we'll probably be on after. So we're here from 12:30 on for a pre-show, even for NXT Stand and Deliver, where we've got Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. We might have a new NXT Women's Championship crown. And then we're here for night one of WrestleMania, which is kicking off with Austin Theory and John Cena. And then we're back at it like a jackrabbit on Sunday night for WrestleMania. Christ, there's so many shows I'm getting mixed up. For WrestleMania night 2. And then we're back here again still. Just keep it moving. How you doing? For the Raw after WrestleMania. As we're we're getting a hype up for Bianca, and we're even getting other female competitors bigging up Bianca. Like we had a little promo there from Liv Morgan. That's 14,744. I added numbers to that, but absolutely. Yeah, we're a little bit like we've said before. If nobody covers professional wrestling like we do, we're not the insiders, we're not the Dave Meltzers or anything like that. Of just literally, we're homies, we're dudes that have a little bit of knowledge and watch enough goddamn wrestling that we know a bit of what we're talking about. So absolutely. Lost where I was going there. Nick, your thoughts on XFL ratings and UFO coming back? You think they'll expand? JV, you're halfway want me to give away the XFL show that I do every week. But I will say, go ahead and check that out if you haven't done so already. I'm here every Saturday, giving you your XFL recap and your XFL preview before the weekend games kick off. But the XFL ratings just continue to drop and drop and drop. And March Madness did play a bit involved in it. The USFL, when it comes back in Fox, is going to be interesting of just on what ratings it gets, and also if it plays an impact, even if it plays an impact when it comes to rosters, etc. Because right now we're at about the halfway point where we're reaching the playoff push point when it comes to the XFL, but I think last week they averaged about 266,000 views. That in part deals with they have most of their games on FX. They've tried to move games to ESPN. They had a lot of the games this week on ABC. But I think that it's a bit of an interesting thing to see that it took even XFL 2.0 5 weeks before they went below 1 million, and now we're 6 weeks at this point into the XFL season, and they're touching almost 250,000 numbers. But as we've got Austin Theory cutting a promo to nobody, why not just have him come out and do this like live in the arena? But anyways, El Hijo del Viking over his Commander Supercard of Honor as well just got added. Yes, I did see that as well. That is going to be Ring of Honor tends to always do well what Tony Khan and AW think they do well on their shows, of actually have a variety of matches, a variety of styles, because nothing overstays its welcome, I feel, or nothing overdoes it. Nobody in America likes second class anything. NFL versus XFL, WWE versus AW is one reason why people are so tribal. That's just human beings. That's not just in America. But I will say that the XFL, though, was also at least alleged to be kind of an NFL developmental league, a little bit like a G League for the NFL. But at this point, I think it might be a little bit of the product of you really have about 4 teams that are running away with the league, but there's a whole lot of factors that can play into it. Can you see an XFL versus an USFL merger be the NFL's farm league? Potentially. Well, that would be an interesting way to go about it. I mean, it would be reminiscent to the AFL and the NFL, or the AFC and the NFC. It would be interesting on that level. But I'm still getting thrown off by the fact that Austin Theory is cutting this super serious promo at John Cena. Like, he's cutting the promo that he should be cutting in the arena, and you could actually get the reaction, and he could show that he can handle dealing with the live crowd and an excited crowd and a crowd that's not on his side, but instead he's doing it in an empty goddamn arena for no reason. Like, we're not back in the Thunderdome era. Trust me. I like Theory, but that's a weird beard. Fair enough. I have Logan Paul go over Seth Rollins, have a match with Theory versus Paul at SummerSlam. I could see it. I don't want it. That's really the biggest thing out of that, is that I don't want it. I'm rooting for Theory to put down Cena. Fair enough, small mark. The arena will not allow him to talk. But that's where you need to establish yourself. I mean, we already had John Cena sit there and dog walk him and just walk him down to the point to where he, at that point had just gotten shook more than even with Roman with the whole, it's called a promo. If you're going to be the big dog, you're going to have to learn how to cut one. But so you've got to at least get past this kind of sink or swim point here. If you've got to at least show why we should be invested in. As we've got, at this point, I'm just going to not help but call him, but the complaint department of Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green coming out. And why does Chelsea keep coming out looking like goddamn prom M. Bison here with this hat? But up next, we've got the complaint department versus, Christ, I just missed who their opponents are. Fact checkers, help me out there, because I know I just saw it, but it's a qualifying match to get into, or for the last spot for the tag team title showcase, or the women's tag team showcase, which in itself sounds ridiculous. Kevin Patrick just said John Cena versus Austin Theory will kick off Mania Night 1. Yes, Jason. That was announced. That was actually, I think, announced on last week's SmackDown. That was the opening match for WrestleMania, was going to be John Cena versus Austin Theory. Backlash is in Puerto Rico. That's where Logan Paul lives. I believe Logan could win at Mania and rematch loss at Backlash. I hate that could be a thing. I hate that we're having to go into, well, he lives in Puerto Rico. Oh, thank you, Kenny, saying Cyan Candace. Thank you. So it tells you, I guess, who I'm going with. I can't even remember their opponent, so I'm going with the complaint department. But the fact that we're going just based off of, well, Logan lives in Puerto Rico, right? So, I mean, maybe he could do it there. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. And I guess it's more of just me being a little bit biased towards, I respect what Logan Paul can do in the ring. All of that. I feel like he does need to at least be built up a bit more instead of just, here, you just get dropped into all of these, like, top of the card matches just because, you're Logan Paul. I 100% agree with you, Nick. I would book Austin Theory differently, more of the let's stay shut and not say anything till after Mania. Oh, but you're taking somebody who at one point their gimmick was taking selfies and all of that they were Vince McMahon's, golden boy. I don't know if you can go them all the way to, keeping a 100% shut. I feel like they should have put Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins, should have kicked off Mania. I feel like that would be lit. But that's the thing, is I think for every great match that we talk about on Mania, I think that there's one or two matches that might kind of pad out the card a little bit, to where those are your take a breath, your recalibrate of, all right, well, we just saw something crazy, so let's take X amount of time, and those are going to be your dead matches. Those are your tag title or your tag team showcase matches, etc. Those are your take a breath, take a pause for the cause matches while we're waiting for the next crazy match to happen. Because again, this is still split up over 2 nights. Didn't Xia already lose the qualifying match? Yes, she did, because she teamed with Tegan. So she's just jumping out here. Well, remember when she was almost supposed to be like the 4th member of Damage Control, and they just kind of decided, no, thank you.
No, that happened. I mean, now we're getting it again, but I mean, nobody expects them to win, right? We're gonna get the complaint department in the Mania showcase.
I have a question besides just wasn't Stacy Keibler already announced to be inducted into the Hall of Fame outside of today, but
No.
who do you feel is, I hate to put it this way, more deserving of a Hall of Fame spot? Tori Wilson or Stacy Keibler? Because I always can put those two together from WCW and all of that.
I feel like if Tori Wilson is in, then there's nothing wrong with Stacy going in. I think they're like.
But to me, I would put Stacy in over Tori because Stacy, there's pictures of her like being at Nitro shows before she was on screen and everything. Like she's to me more of an actual legit wrestling fan.
He hasn't aged at all. She's gorgeous.
Aged like fine wine.
No, I mean it's a weird class. Mysterio, Muda,
Kaufman, Stacy Keibler.
Right? People are going to say, well, Ray's a name, but...
Well, it sounds like if you put universe mode on just the most random of randoms.
Right. And that's why after they beat the Vince out of Triple H, kind of molded...
out of him, Triple H kind of molded him differently, and that's why I would book him the strong silent type. He's talking about Austin Theory.
Oh, yeah. They already... Yeah, they as you say, gave him a Vincectomy.
Yeah, but so who are you taking in this match? Are you taking the now newly dubbed complaint department, or are you taking? Oh, so it's not Zion, it's Mission. Sorry, it's Mia Yim. Everybody was saying it was Zion Candace. It's Mia Yim.
And I mean, realistically, I'd rather see Mia Yim at Mania out of anybody in this match. But
yeah,
the club fell apart, and so did Mia and fucking.
They just got nothing to do.
Nothing.
That Cannonball was like blatantly like to nobody. Like you just rolled when no one was there before you rolled. Like
right.
Started wrestling at 19. Stacy inducted Tori. I've seen that. Jazz, Victoria, and Gail Kim. Yes, those are all people 100% that should be in there. Like, there's a list you could come up with of people who should be in the Hall of Fame. I've seen a lot of people, especially this year, that have been petitioning and really kind of waving the flag for like Cyndi Lauper to go in, just because of the rock and wrestling connection. There's still allegedly maybe we get Umaga gets inducted of maybe on SmackDown. I'm hoping, or at least somebody else beyond just these four. But
yeah, it's been really interesting. I mean, but at least like the women got qualifiers for this thing, the men didn't,
because they only have so many tag teams. Like, could you name a tag? Can you name a tag team? Well, actually, no. Correction. All the tag teams that they left out are in the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Right. That's it. They shoved them all out there. I mean, they could have thrown some random tag teams together to lose.
Right. I think, well, Molly Holly and Ivory are Hall of Famers.
Yes. I could see Tori doing it for Stacy. Maybe George Clooney. Oh, nice move.
Mia Yim gets the pin, but Chelsea complains.
Nah.
Carmella turns on Green to help Mia and Candice win.
This is a good match. With good pace. Molly is in.
Well, everyone that's in the match is actually good and actually a talented wrestler. They're just booked to be what the fuck?
Okay.
I mean, I picked them, but I didn't expect it to be that sudden and that clean.
Well, I mean, they kind of distracted the ref a little bit. Unprettier. Yeah. Chelsea Green is going to Wrestlemania.
So we've got Liv Raquel versus Shotzi and Natalya versus Ronda and Shayna versus the complaint department.
All right.
But Sonya should have been in a faction with Ronda and Shayna.
I like that shout. I mean, I really do. I mean, it makes sense. It would all work. So yeah,
Absolutely.
This is a pre-match show if I've ever seen one.
What?
This should be a pre-match show.
You mean that match or the show that we're watching right now?
That should be a pre-show match. There
we go. Words.
Words, KJ.
Well, no, I think that's one that just pads out the card. So, like in between, say, a Hell in a Cell match and Austin Theory versus John Cena, you can have nobody gives a shit tag match, and it's just a thing that happens.
Right. Now we got Damian Priest coming out to the ring.
Escorted by Condom.
Yeah, little Condom with him. Also known as Trojan.
Trojan man.
Dr.
Mantis Toboggan.
Right. He needs
if you get that reference, high five to you.
Right. Big shout. Rey Mysterio versus Damian Priest up next, and we can all imagine how this is going to go.
Who you think's going to win that? But I like this shout of Mick Foley and Duck Stacy. There's no place I'd rather be than right here in Stacy Keep.
Whoa! Pause, mother. The Dudleys, Bubba Ray, right? There's a connect.
Do you know who she is?
Right? Do you know this lady? So is Priest Poppy of Dom?
Stepdad.
Well, I mean, we're still trying to figure out.
He's the uncle that just hangs out.
Like
what? The uncle that babysits. Damian over Dom. He's the uncle that babysits.
The uncle that babysits. It's not Don Callis. Jesus Christ.
Where were you going with that?
I was gonna. No,
you going Don Callis? Don West?
Well,
where are you going?
The invisible uncle. Yeah, no, it's creepy.
Oh no!
No. Dom. I mean, we're still trying to figure out the biological father. Never mind, stepfather.
Viva la raza.
I lie.
I lie. Hey Ray, when I said I gave you back Dom, I lie.
I mean, technically, would Murphy be a stepdaddy or steppoppy? If we're pulling back the wall here.
If we're going pulling back the fourth wall, like no.
Yeah,
I could come up with some names, but I don't. I like being on YouTube of some things that I could say that. But no, to me, Chavo's the like step uncle there.
Yeah, definitely Chavo.
And Pepe, gotta have Pepe.
And we know
I like the step poppy.
Yeah, right. Welcome, Eva Lee. Definitely Ray deserves to win. He was practically forced to fight his son. Yeah, he was definitely forced. I mean, that went on forever.
Yeah, over
finally
2 years he was forced.
Yeah, finally gives in. But
finally, his wife is not the only one in that family throwing hands besides Dom.
And I'm kind of inclined to agree. I think Rey Mysterio by roll up, and he runs like he kind of rolls out and like, aha, daddy got over on you, because he's gonna lose at Mania.
Should have Ray arrested for.
That's what should happen. The match goes ding ding, and they go to hook up, and then the police come running out, and Dom's like, "Get him!
Boo earns.
Been there.
We've seen that enough in digital shorts, in digital exclusives. Boo earns.
That's actually crazy, the story of the Judgment Day. It really is, in the sense that it was all but dead. Like, we shot all over the House of Purple.
It was the House of Purple for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then Rhea Ripley just reinvigorated everything.
Yeah, all she had, a couple weeks in a row, she beat the shit out of Dominic, and everyone thought it was amazing. Here we are. Like, that's all that happened. Like, remember, she walked out with him by the pants, by the belt buckle, like just dragged him out like a sack of potatoes.
When she's sack of potatoes. But no, when she sat there and body slammed Luke Gallows, it was like Hogan slamming Andre. I feel a little bit of just everybody's like, oh my God, can you believe that they let her do this? It's like, Yeah, because I think she would do that with me. Like, I think she would whoop my ass. So of course she's gonna whoop his ass.
Right? No kidding. I think Dom's 26.
Wow.
24 and 26, maybe? He can't be
Early 20s or late 20s, early 30s.
I think he's younger than he looks. I think he's like 25.
I think he's older than he looks.
Oh, yeah?
Well, until he grew out the mullet.
Yeah, there you go.
When he was sitting there hanging out with Ray in the superhero color scheme, he looked a lot younger than he is, I feel. Now that he's got the growing in stash and the mullet, I think he looks his age finally. But I will look.
The fact checkers fill this in here. Mark let us know that Priest is an ex-puppy of Rhea, actually. So there we go. Who knew?
Oh, I'm not gonna touch that. Yeah, that's like everybody's saying everything with LA Knight and Becky, and then LA Knight had to sit there and be like, "We're just friends. Like, dudes can be friends with females."
Right. Dom is the same age as Braun Breaker, 25. There you go.
Yes, I just looked that up.
Dude, 1985, when I was just in diapers.
I was but a twinkle in my dad's eye.
There you are. You were you were a hot date away from being you. Shut out.
I was about to just make all of the jokes of,
All right. Shout out.
Life would have had a bit of chance fighting on the bed sheet trying.
Dom is the same age as Rhea Ripley, which is crazy. Yeah, it is actually.
Yeah, one looks like a grown human being, and the other looks like Benjamin Button.
Dom was 9. Yeah, exactly. Dom looks so much like his dad as a kid, though. When they were doing the whole paternity thing, it was definitely Dom Ray's kid.
Yeah, and now
it's
Eddie. But we've got Heyman cutting a promo backstage right now.
Destiny's Child's in the house. Say my name, say my
name, say my name. Anthony, what up? Anthony the Toro.
Right.
Toro.
Anyone for help.
Who's your what?
So Dom can't call anyone to help him at Mania.
Somebody call my mama. Somebody call my mommy. That's the thing I like what Paul's pointing out here is that he's not saying Solo's not here to win a fucking match.
No.
He doesn't give a shit at this point. He's there to sit there and just tenderize and pulverize Cody Rhodes before he has to go and face the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, that's what this is all about is 100%. That's it. We're just going to wear him out. Make him even a bigger underdog. So when he wins, it's so triumphant. It's such a miracle.
Yeah, but Paul looking a little stressed here, though. Paul looks like he needs a little bit of a clean shave there a little bit. It got the stubble, the 5 o'clock shadow halfway rolling in there.
A little bit. I want to see Paul with a beard. Let's go. That's a good question.
How would that grow in? That's a question and a half of how would Paul Heyman grow a beard?
Chia.
But is that not maybe a little bit of a subtle note here, a subtle hint, a little tip off here? Because I feel like this is a storyline that would do stuff like that. Of that Heyman's now he's a little bit looking more a little disheveled.
A little stressed.
He's got a bit more of the scruff of he's up stressing of we've got a threat on our hands now of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Do you remember when he did that when he was going through all the angst with Brock and Roman and he was getting all scruffy and shit? And he looked like a mess.
Touche.
The bags under his eyes were even bigger. Like, holy fuck. Does Conan get involved? Conan comes out and gives Dom a spanking mid match.
I would hope not.
I want to see that part where Ray puts Dom on his knee, but it's too big.
This is what you should have gotten. Yeah, that's the miniaturized Brock Lesnar versus Omos is Dominic Mysterio versus Rey Mysterio.
Right? Yeah, right. The mini version.
But
Paul
Heyman's
was
cutting a
just,
hell of a promo talking about how on
he's just
SmackDown
butter,
we're getting
dude.
Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes face to face, and Cody Rhodes get ready to acknowledge your tribal chief, Roman Reigns,
dude. Paul is just fucking butter, like
on a different level.
It's he rolls out of bed with it. There's just it's his gift. Like he just has a way to articulate and express himself in such a compelling way. It is like nobody else. He like where I told you, Bully Ray. Oh, I'd take down Paul Heyman. I'd take down MJF.
MJF.
I don't know. And MJF, I don't think could.
Well, no, I'm saying like there's a lot of guys that are good on the mic. Then not everybody's a Paul Heyman that's had it for this long. Like Roman even said of when he was doing his little Dusty impression of "You have it. You couldn't sell it. You couldn't get rid of it, baby. You are it."
I like that. Was Conan confirmed? Last I heard from Conan said no. As last I heard, Conan was the dude.
Hopefully.
But then if it's not Conan, who?
No offense, Conan, but hope I want excuse me,
Mickey?
To induct Ray, because as much as I get, they'll both be super heartfelt.
Who else is super connected to Ray from that kind of standpoint?
Who do you think could get more of a coherent promo across right now with a promo speech right now? Conan or Vicky?
Oh, that's a tight race.
I would hedge my bets on Vicky.
Vicky slightly. I'll give you that.
By a nose. By an excuse me.
Kidman. Do people even remember Kidman at this point? I love Kidman, man. 7-year itch. Let's go.
Right. Well, he'd be there for Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler and
right in the middle of it all. Hey, Stace.
Right.
That's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt. Kidman swung way up on that one and then lost out.
Fucking outkicked your coverage real good, my guy.
Outkicked your coverage. I like that. That's my American slant on it. I like it. Dude, biggest pop ever. And our buddy over at Kid Clips. Kid Clips? Yeah.
Kid Clips.
Yeah, got our reaction to Ray punching Dom. So if you guys haven't checked out,
shout out to homie. I feel like at this point we're starting to become regulars. If you got KJ there, even in the thumbnail for the last one,
I had a tear, man.
Figures though, the KO doppelgangers there, front line and center for the KO and Sammy hug.
Ratnick taking the heel stance on this one. Ray was out of line. Yeah, that he didn't punch the kid fucking 3 months ago.
I'm so sick of you, Dad. You never let me play my games.
It's funny talking about that reaction clip that we were in. I was convinced that it was the daughter getting in the argument that put him over edge, but then Ray said, but I was too busy screaming. Right. Ray's like, you don't talk to my wife like that. Well, what happened at Christmas? He was talking shit all over your wife for months.
And this whole story is a little bit, I just thought my whole reaction was funny because it's one of those, like, I was on a whole different level, and then you come in like, I'm like, just screaming, everybody's excited.
That's the fun part about being live, man. You don't know when shit's gonna happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen. I went for a pause, had to re-up the vitamins, and next thing I see Ray turn around, I'm like, oh shit.
Right hand.
Dominic talking about Bianca. No.
This family is a disgrace to the Mysterio name.
Yeah. I wish Eddie was my real father.
You're not my real dad.
Dude, that's the craziest line I've heard. I'm dead. Dead!
He actually said that?
Yeah, I wish Eddie was my real father. Holy shit. Holy shit. Dad should have got a holy shit chant.
That's the thing, though, is he slipped that in.
I wish Eddie was my real father.
You're not my real dad.
A lot of people are saying they don't care about this match. I'm all for it. I want to see this.
To me, I'm glad it's finally happening. It's been long in the tooth build of this is a match we felt should have happened at WrestleMania 37, 38. Yeah.
Well, no, they were still doing like that. I didn't like them being tag team champions because they were boring as fuck. Dom was green as shit. I didn't feel like he deserved it. You called home. Finally. Priest, 100%. got work done to his face. Is that Botox? Yo, I was convinced. What was it, Kenny, the other night? There's not a fucking blemish in that forehead. Slick.
Pause. But I'm sad I missed him saying that line.
But
because I've been calling him for Dominic Guerrero for the longest time.
Imagine. I wish Eddie would play right into it.
It's so funny that this is a kayfabe storyline from, at this point, God knows how many years. And it still feels so prevalent, so at the front of your mind still, that you can say one line and it brings up the whole feud, brings up the whole match, brings up everything back to
that. Is fucking epic. Well, I can't believe you went there. I cannot believe
I'm surprised he hasn't. Honestly, I thought once he started growing the mullet and the grit stash and everything, 100%.
No, I mean, again, I felt like, we talked about it for months. We watched the evolution of Dominic Mysterio on this channel. Like you said, we've watched this story play out for a little too long. But I mean, I will say, the moment where Bray said finally enough, it got the pop that everybody hoped for. Right? So yeah, I mean, this is I still think Dom should retire the man at Mania. This should be it. Dude, you're at your pinnacle. You've passed your prime. If you want to go do some AAA bookings and shit, great. But if you I mean, you know what? To go under to your son at Mania and have your son be able to do something like take your mask and use it as another way to grab heat, it's great for Dom. Losing to Ray doesn't do anything for him.
Well, and like you said, of what do you do now with Rey Mysterio after this? If he's already kind of a little bit become, and I hate to put it this way, but an anchor when it comes to storylines. We've seen that with Karrion Kross. We've seen that with a couple other people, of even just randomly LA Knight after you already lost to Kofi and Xavier, and now you just get involved in just, if you won't smack your kid Ray, I'll do it. And it seems like a hindrance on LA Knight so what do you do with Ray past this? And I like Gilly mentioned, well over 20 years. It feels like that.
I think Ray, he's at the pit stop. He needs to, if you want to, like, he doesn't have to retire, but I mean, I think if he loses to Dom, it helps build that heat. Ray is, no. I don't think so, because Ray does a job. Ray's done a job time and time again. I think Ray's become more of a game.
Ray has no problem doing a job. It's Jericho.
He clearly doesn't have much creative control. Jericho, well, fuck. Did you see everybody passing around the slow motion clip of Jericho at some fucking indie show doing like the slow motion with all the JAS? People were shitting all over it like this.
I'm glad I haven't.
This is what's wrong with wrestling and the boys.
I don't need anything else more to not like Chris Jericho.
The guy is just chiseling away at his legacy by doing dumb shit and more dumb shit and more dumb shit.
As somebody who honestly at times for bits paid attention more to WCW than WWE, and I'll be honest with that. And to see somebody like Chris Jericho, who was a guy I rooted for in WCW, like I said, I was a mark for the whole 1001 holds and everything like that. And fucking Ralphus and everything. We get now to this point, it's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Like I said, it feels like Jordan on the Wizards. It just doesn't feel like, it's just like
it reminds you of, it's like that, almost that saying of like never meet your like hero kids, because you just realize how much they've really fallen.
Now, folks, we appreciate you keeping this chat alive and well. We will get to as many comments as possible. Do not forget, we have the super chat. If you do want to stand out, if you want to give us a little bit of support, a little bit of love, help the cause that is the Wrestling for Life Network. Ray and Damian Priest have kicked off the match. If you guys want to get us a prediction, we take predictions on all the matches, and stay till the end. We will take your rating out of 10. So, who's going to win this one? I got Ray's going to steal this one. He needs the W.
I think Damian wins because shenanigans, and because Damian is not doing anything on WrestleMania, and because we already know that Escobar is going to be in Ray's corner if he might get shaken off and shoot off at WrestleMania. build up that hype of Ray's going to win, and then Dom picks up the win. But so I think Damian picks up the win here.
Take it easy. Pop back in anytime. The 2000s was 20 years ago. Yeah, it's fucking.
Don't remind me.
That's enough out of you.
I already know I got the salt and pepper going on. So,
American Badass Taker was horrendous. I don't think so. Maybe in hindsight, like I feel like people looking backwards feel that way, but in the moment, like at first you were like, "What the fuck?" But then you were like, "All right," but he was still coming out and kicking the shit out of everybody, and he was great as a heel.
Accepting it a bit for what it was,
Yeah,
it's not bad. Like, and especially in that moment, you didn't mind it. How many times? Oh, big ass clothesline from Damian.
Oh,
1, 2 count. But how many kids were listening to Kid Rock and fucking Limp Bizkit after that? Just because that was the Undertaker's entrance music.
Oh, I'm gonna have fucking no. I don't want to get that shit stuck in my head, bro.
Keep rolling.
Right, exactly.
And America.
That great question by JV. What's next for Dom if he wins?
U.S. title.
Okay, yeah, but then is he babyface enough? Would a theory be babyface?
Well, and that's because that comes down to the question of does he retire Ray, or do we then is this a continuation, and then we get say a retirement match between Ray and Dom in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, that's
it's gonna be that's the weird thing is knowing that there's WrestleMania Backlash not that far after, and I hate that they even call it WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah, I love the trying to suck in that extra marketing from WrestleMania.
Right. See, Dom with the shenanigans.
Yeah.
So Ray picks up the win by DQ, so I guess I
There
can
you go.
count that into effect.
Kind of. You kind of figured something.
Right.
Here we go. Heel versus heel? Nah. Maybe not right away. Give it time. But he'll hang around with Judgment Day and be a pain in the ass to somebody.
Goes after tag titles with Judgment Day?
Yeah, but I mean, even if like, maybe the Judgment Day rekindles their feud with the club, or so they'll find somebody for Dom to irritate after his father. And going over his father is going to get him more heat. And look, the crowd's all on their feet.
Well, now we've got the suddenly babyface Legado del Fantasma coming out here to make the save on Ray.
What took them so long?
Why the babyface turn, though? That's my whole question on this whole thing.
They never really explained why all of a sudden Santos is like got Ray's back. Other than I respect your father, he's a legend.
Does this become like WWE's version of like LWO a little bit?
Yeah, I guess.
As the crowd's popping, by the way, they're chanting "You suck" and all that.
Yeah. People can say whatever the fuck they want about Dom. When Dom sucked, I was here saying Ray needed to fucking put him in the kiss and ride and drop him off, stay within the cones.
He needed to go to NXT.
And go back to NXT, right? Keep it within the cones, drop him off, wish him luck. But Dom found something. He got over. And the crowd is actively interested in Dominic Mysterio, whether you like it or not.
What? Chef,
what?
Somebody call my mommy. Somebody call my mommy.
Andre, we're getting a preview for the Andre.
Hey, well, I saw that they were going to try and take this more seriously, and still, as much as I know I was on the tail end initially of watching that man's career or following up on it and everything like that, but going back and watching like the documentaries on him and everything is just astounding and fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, again, it's once in a lifetime, once in a generation. You don't. When have we ever really saw it replicated at his stature? Like, and we've had other giants come through, and they've never quite figured out the Andre recipe with a big man. Like
the closest I would say would be Paul White, and that's still a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I think. Could you imagine Andre doing all those heel turns?
It doesn't work for me, boss. Like small mark. Booger Red Taker was horrible.
Booger Red? What is going on?
That was when Taker was like in the territories.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we've got
the club. We got the club with Johnny.
Right. Well, we've got an Elias and Boogs.
Speaking of Booger Red.
But so someone screenshot that. Is that the order? Like, well, granted, it's a battle royal.
Well, there's no order, so yeah.
No order, but still.
There you go. We got 29. Well, you read them out yesterday, all 29.
Yeah, no, it is a little bit of
Dexter, another competitor.
Elias and Dexy and Jonah and Boogs and even the club too.
Oh, look, they're all here. And Boogs is
Booby Lashley's here.
Buddy, the meme that is about to be made out of Boogs, like in the background there. What is he up to? He's just grimacing and like he looks like he's
he's just out there doing like the 90s weight routine.
Hey, Bobby. Bobby talking to Elias. Ooh.
Boogs and Elias need to be a goddamn tag team.
Hundo P.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. Boogs.
Speaking of well, here's a guy who could halfway almost embody of that physically intimidating presence.
He looks like
even though he's not the same size as Andre, but Gunther conveys that same presence of like
a big man.
I'm going to call this the way I want to go in the ring.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do what I'm doing, I'm going to chop your fucking chest in. Yeah. And then we'll reconvene and see you if you want to play ball then.
Right. What's up, Jake? How you doing? How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. What's up, Clinton? Well, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. They turn on Ray at Mania, forming the new LWO with Dom as the leader. I don't want Dom as the leader of shit.
That's not a bad show.
Oh, no. I don't know if I want Dom in charge, though. I really don't know if that's the way I would go with it.
No, but then you have Santos just behind there, just like, as Dom makes dumb decision after dumb decision, and he's just there like, yep, and then they just completely do something on their own, or like you just get that dissension.
Maybe. Or maybe it's, Legato turns, and that's what Ray focuses on moving forward is Santos for a while, and Dom goes on to be...
Well, I wasn't even saying that. If I counted Ray out of the picture, if you build towards Dom and Santos feud.
But a feud. Okay, I could see that. I thought people were saying like he joins Legato.
Well, no, he could join and then just twist it into he's just the idiot leader and Santos just gets sick of his shit.
Fair enough, but would you pluck him out of the Judgment Day? Would you take him away from Mami?
Depending on the way things go at WrestleMania, does the Judgment Day, there we go, exist beyond WrestleMania?
Yeah, why wouldn't they? They don't seem like they're falling apart, do they? They're
like I said, though, depends on the way things go. If Ray wins, if Charlotte wins, if Edge wins, then a lot of the Judgment Day would take a lot of L's.
Yeah, I think all three of them win. I think Judgment Day have a good Mania. I think they go carte blanche.
Presenting a counter argument.
Fair enough. Objection.
Overruled. Hearsay. We could totally be lawyers.
See, Ray isn't retiring after Mania. So, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think he is.
You know.
I mean, I just think it's the perfect moment. Like, if you were ever to go out, would this not be ideal? Like, how much better can it get? Like, how much better is your final retirement match going to be? Unless it's, a rematch at WrestleMania 46?
Does he retire like at SummerSlam in Detroit or something? Or?
Maybe. I mean, I get the idea of him going. Like, you kind of want Ray around for a show in Puerto Rico. I don't think Logan Paul living in Puerto Rico. Like, do people in Puerto Rico go, "That's Logan, we love him"?
He represents us. Yes, he's a proud Puerto Rican. But no, I could see very much of like maybe that's where you have Ray's retirement match.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to click on this one real quick. The baby bird must fly away from the nest.
Right, you got to flock off.
Speaking of flocking off.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's his exit. He even said goodbye. Well, folks, we are in a commercial break. We are rolling through. I will take a minute to remind everyone out there we are the Wrasslin for Life Network. That was Big Nick. I'm KJ. Big shout out to Cliff, CJ, LJ, Luna. We will see them all throughout this week, so stay tuned for that. CJ made his big return to the Rumble for yesterday's preview and prediction show. After this stream, if you haven't seen the prediction show, go check it out. It's a fun watch. And yeah, the boys get back into bantering and arguing a little bit, so it's a good time. But folks, I will say this. Tomorrow, we are back for NXT Stand and Deliver Go Home show. It's going to be a good one. Then Dynamite Wednesday. Thursday, we got 3 shows. We're going to do Impact, we're going to do Ring of Honor, and we're going to do Impact versus New Japan, the multiverse of matches. It's a late show. We start at 7. We're going to run through and keep going until the action's done. So that's going to be a crazy night Thursday. Friday, we're back. We have another triple header. We get Super Card of Honor, SmackDown, and we get Rampage. That's going to be good. Saturday, we wake up, brunch with the boys, our weekly XFL update with Big Nick will go up at 11:30. Then at 12:30, we go live for our Mania Marathon. It's our second one. It's an annual tradition that we are thrilled to be at the second one. But yeah, the Mania Marathon, we're going to run all the way through, folks. It's going to be a great night. We start with Stand and Deliver. We bring you some original content, some trivia, some games, some prizes. And then we have WrestleMania Night 1. We're going to go through it all. We're going to take your predictions. We're going to get your ratings. We're going to talk all about it. It's going to be a party. And then, if that wasn't enough, we come back Sunday and do it again. And we will be here early. We're actually talking about adding some programming on Sunday, potentially. But stay tuned. We got so much coming your way. And that's why I confidently tell you guys, we just grind on a different level. We bring you all the wrestling. We are the alternative commentary. And speaking of the wrestling, I got a replay of Sammy and KO's t-shirt moment from last week. Wrestlemania, baby! You gotta love it. The big hug. And the Usos making quick work of it all. But folks, we are days away from this weekend. And before we even get there, let's be real. We haven't talked a lot about it. Multiverse United, New Japan versus Impact. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an outstanding show. It's going to be a hell of a battle between two companies. And I'm really looking forward to it. And then, we got Sammy and KO. KO looking all stoic. Let's quick look that. I'm just listening to Sammy, but you guys can chew on that for a second. But folks, I will say, I hope everyone's having a wonderful Monday because we're back at it again tomorrow. It's going to be a wonderful Tuesday. But Sammy, Los Angeles is the city we first got our big break. So now they're giving them the home field advantage. They're giving it even more reason for the crowd to be behind them. We love Los Angeles. We're our roots date back to Los Angeles. Guys, they're going to win. I'm telling you right now, if anybody tuning in right now, like almost 50 people, they're going to win. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down. Give me a Y, an N, a yes, a no. I think they're going to win. And yes, Caliber's spot on as far as if anybody would know about PWG, right? Excalibur, thank you. I don't know if that's the best nickname because the other Excalibur, rough. Going into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame. How fucking nonsensical is that shit? These two together is it's fucking magic. It's money. Yes, I like it. Yeah, they're taking it. They're taking it. I think it's the fall of the Roman Empire all weekend long. A movie ending to it all, folks. And then Roman goes and makes a couple movies. It's cool they're talking about being PW. Yeah, I think it's absolutely awesome. I like when they actually acknowledge that shit. Again, it kind of brings the element to it. Has Gunther got skinnier or just get a haircut? Anybody? Somebody? Gunther can't keep getting skinnier. Turning into a fucking skeleton. Rey Mysterio retires at Mania in Mexico, Estadio Azteca. Oh, look. Speaking of retiring, Dolph Ziggler. Is Ray like Ric Flair? Can he turn it off and retire, or does he? That's a tough one, right, Gilly? Or Gilly? I don't know. But yeah, that's a tough one. Because I think you're right. I think even if his WWE contract was done, you might have a guy like Tony sniffing around. You might have, Triple A would love to have him back. I'm sure you'd love to go down and do a couple Triple Manias. Yeah, I mean, there's the potential there for Ray to hang around. Does he go until he's 75? I don't know. Fire, thumbs up. Look, we got a lot of support for the Canadian duo. Gunther for the win. I will take predictions on this match right now. Gunther is definitely going to beat Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, easy for me to say. Dolph equals Ken becoming Barbie. I like it. Think about Mania in Mexico. Maybe. Yeah, it'd be huge. I like when they do international shows. I mean, we've had Mania in Canada a couple times. It always goes really well. I mean, they're talking about bringing Mania back. That'll be interesting. But I want to see how this Puerto Rico show goes. I'm really curious to see how the crowd is. I think they'll be off the chain. Gunther for the win. That's an obvious pick. Man, Ziggler looked a bit like Brian Kendrick. No. We watched Brian Kendrick recently win the BCW inaugural championship. No, he looks different. Scruffy, homeless. Dolph going to be turned red. Absolutely. We did go to a commercial break. I don't exactly know that this match needed a commercial break, folks, but we are still rolling along. We got about half hour left of the show. So I hope everyone out there is enjoying Raw tonight, and keep the chat coming. We got lots to talk about, and it's Monday and I'm already losing my voice. So we got problems. Man, Ziggler I got that one. What would Mama Cornette think? Sign in the crowd. I like it. I didn't see it yet. That's funny. So Tanahashi versus Speedball and Multiverse. Now Ospreay is injured. Clinton, that's very true. Impact's had some really unfortunate luck. I mean, they lost Josh Alexander. They've temporarily lost Mickie James. And they lost Ospreay, which I'm sure for this type of card, you want Ospreay. You want one of the best in the world to be on it. No offense to Tanahashi, but Tanahashi and Speedball will be good. It's just not Ospreay. So unfortunate, but they will make the best of it. I'm looking forward to the Multiverse United on Thursday. And like I said, we will be here live. Have you ever watched WWC? It's out of Puerto Rico. Not much, JV. Not much. To be 100% honest with you, I love like AAA. I love lucha wrestling. I don't know. There's just something about every once in a while just kind of getting lost in a spot match, and I think it's really cool. What guy I could never do front flips, back flips, bounce around. It was never my thing. I was unfortunately built like a house. So my brother, on the other hand, he was the high flyer, right? So I mean, but I've never actually caught anything out of Puerto Rico. Nope. Mama said. Mama's wrong. Does Cody win by DQ versus Solo? You know what? I think if I was booking this, Damian, I think we go Cody wins clean. Actually hands Solo a loss. Going into Mania, I think that's the best look. I think Cody finds a way to win this. I think maybe the Usos come out and they kind of cause trouble. KO and Sammy come out, interrupt it, and Cody gets the win. Valdez has spoken. Isn't that where Invader stabbed Bruiser to death? Yes. Crazy story. And never ever fully verified, or you hear mixed stories of how it all happened. But yeah, one of the tragic wrestling stories. And if you haven't seen that episode of Dark Side, it's worth a watch. Crazy times. Right? You imagine like wrestlers nowadays complain about heat in the locker room, and no, it was dire straits back in them days. And I mean, especially when you're heading into different places. Gunther with a 2 count, by the way. Vikingo versus Commander at Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor pay-per-view for the AAA Mega World Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be a crazy match. We watched Commander GCW, one of the botchiest matches I have seen in a long time. Maybe one of the botchiest matches I've covered live. It was fucking hilarious. It became funny, and some of you guys were here with us for that show, doing the Jersey Cup, but it became comical. Like, oh my God. But yeah, this is going to be a spot fest. I'm looking forward to Super Card of Honor, guys. Like, we're going to talk about it more as we move along this week. And I know a lot of the focus is on WrestleMania. I kind of question Tony's decision to have Ring of Honor on this Friday, going up against the SmackDown that's going to do good numbers. Why not wait a week or go this week? I don't know how you guys feel about it. I'd love to see some opinions. Gunther just ended the match, by the way. It's over. So still IC champion, if anyone was worried. But yeah, Gunther looking like he needs Dana White to strap that belt on for him. Mom ain't wrong, Connor Sanders. There we go. So Gunther just unloads Dolph Ziggler. And they're calling his move the Last Symphony. I was not aware that was the name. But Gunther's got a microphone. Listen. He's good, guys. Like, this is you need more of this. Like, he is a great villain. I'm waiting for him to rob fucking Nakamori Towers. Chris Sabin replaces Josh Alexander at the debuting Brian Keith April 6th Wrestling Revolver first ever match. It'll be interesting. I got to double check if we're here for that one. I think we should be. But yeah. And I feel bad for Josh. Josh was on a tear. No pun intended on that one. Hi, KJ. What's up, John? How you doing? And Big Nick. Happy Mania week. Gunther wins, KJ. Yes, he does. Emphatically, and delivers an emphatic promo after letting everyone know it's a disgrace that he has to defend his title. Let me ask everyone out there. I love asking the crowd questions. How do you feel about this triple threat? How do you feel about it? Like, are you like, this is going to be a banger? This is going to be good? I'm curious. Samoan Spike versus Crossroads next. Yes, folks, we got about 20 minutes left on the clock. We are heading towards the main event. We'll get intros and a couple more commercials just to make sure we're nice and sleepy when we hit that main event tonight. But I will say once again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. And if you're feeling generous, we would love for you to share. If you're in a chat room, if you're on social media, just share. It's the nicest thing you guys can do for a growing channel. Like Big Nick said, we just passed 1.53 and climbing fast, folks. Remember, we're just a baby. Something, Cody Rhodes. Throat is raw. Pause. Gunther is why SmackDown needs a big belt. Yeah, no kidding. I like it. WrestleMania 34 weekend, I got my first exposure to Walter. Nice. Nice. Listen, I mean, there's stories there to be told. And if Gunther keeps the IC title, and you think about, putting out maybe an open challenge or talking about what could happen, and Ilya showing up, Pete Dunne being Pete Dunne, and Cody handing off his belt, the ultimate baby face in wrestling. I don't know what this fucking jacket is, though. SummerSlam 2002 was Ray's first pay-per-view match. I agree. It sounds about right. Gunther is White SmackDown. I got that one. Salsa and rum. It's funny, JV. It's funny. Still shocked at the revelation that Cody Rhodes has a Cuban mama. KJ, have you seen the new belt for Cody Rhodes? Yeah, it's bullshit, but yes, it's nice. I don't buy it. I believe this is something that the social media world has just ran with, but I'm all for it. I believe the unique belts. I mean, if you have those unique belts, again, you have those purchasing reasons, right? The generic belts that all look the same no matter who has them, not great. But Cody, that design, the double wings, I'm good for it. Here comes Solo, being flanked by the wise man. I will take all the predictions, folks. Get it in. If you're watching right now, don't be shy. Solo Sikoa, Cody Rhodes, the main event. Go home Raw before Mania. Guys, the week's off to a decent start. It really is. And I will say what I'm really pumped about is the crowd was good for tonight. The crowd was into tonight. Back to commercial. Fuck. They got to plot their commercials better. You just take all the piss right out of your... Why not get them in the ring, get them started, then go to commercial? Because they're going to do both, KJ. They're going to give you a commercial before an entrance, between the entrances, and then right after they start wrestling. Fuck. Too much. Too much. Too greedy. Sammy, KO, and Cody Rhodes versus Omega and the Bucks. WrestleMania 41. Forbidden Door. All right. Sign me up, buddy. I'm with you. A little bit of the hopium on that one, but funnier things have happened. So who knows? Vince shocks everyone and he turns around and buys AEW. What? Why risk injury having Cody Gunther wrestling this close to Mania? They're not going to do anything insane. That's why. I mean, again, you take the inherent risk, but you got. It's like saying, I don't love when we're going to sit this guy out because we're getting close to the playoffs. Often doesn't work out well. And there's a lot of theory to the idea that the more reps you're doing, the more consistently you're in the ring or doing any sport, the less likely you are to get hurt. If he takes 3 weeks off and then tries to turn it on at Mania, he's more likely to get injured. So I'm okay for it. It's not like he's going to be jumping through the ropes or he might, but I don't expect anything crazy, right? Get through it. Keep it simple. It's more about the story than the match. And that's it. It builds. You need it. Cody Rhodes for the win. A banger of an IC title match at Mania, and Cody Rhodes wins over Solo. All right. I agree with Cody. I'll take that. And yeah, I think the IC title is going to do well. I think they'll do it. I think it's going to be one hell of a match. I really do. I think he wants to bring back the Winged Angel, but one man stands on his in his way. His true story. Dave? Why Dave? Batista? No, I'm just kidding. The most sensical winners of the Reach for the Sky ladder match are Top Flight. When you look at, yeah, Dave, that's not a bad shout. Top Flight. I mean, they're trying to push a little bit for Daniels and Seidel, but I think you leave Top Flight. I don't think we should see Top Flight on Dynamite anymore. And we'll talk about this more on Wednesday, but I feel like I've said this before. I don't want all this crossover. I don't want to see guys from Ring of Honor and on AEW. I don't want to see back and forth, back and forth. You have your Ring of Honor staff, you have your Ring of Honor wrestlers, your Ring of Honor talent, and you run it that way. Double DQ, Usos and Sammy, so it just turns into a big melee, maybe. Maybe. Cody getting destroyed by the end of this match, and entire Bloodline pummels him. He's got backup, Ratnick. I don't think so. I think they're going to want to give the impression that Roman's in trouble tonight. Friday might not be the case. Roman will be present. So I think that has a different vibe to it. I think this is a chance for Cody to get one up. Friday is getting a shout out now. Are you guys ready? Friday. Whew, we got so much to get into. When Solo comes out, he should have a 10-second tribal war dance. Nah, I like him just being Mr. Serious. He doesn't need to be doing no war dance. Even though, you know. Both men lock up. Remember, Cody Rhodes told Solo he's not ready. He's not ready. But there's Solo, yeah. Smack in the head. Just like so many of his Cody drop and chop. Cody out of the way. Good pace to start this match, folks. Yeah. That's where I think this heads, is to a six-person melee. Oh, shit! Solo just launched Cody. Sammy and KO will be attacked in the back. Oh, okay. Twist. A twist. I like it. I like it, Ratnick. Know what would have been good? A good match for SmackDown this week? Yeah, you know what? Oh, versus Imperium and the Bloodline versus Brawling Brutes. That would be a hefty match. Dave, that's a lot. But I surmised that maybe we would get a six-man tag. But I don't know if that's given too much away. I complained earlier about the 8-man tag ahead of the Fatal 4-Way. So tread lightly. We don't want to overdo it. Whew. This won't happen, but what if Bobby wins this Friday, goes to Mania with the trophy, asks for an open challenge at Mania, and we get Chris Masters? You're right, it won't happen. I think what's more likely to happen than that is that we get Bobby Lashley wins the Andre, and the lights go out. And then maybe we get a little more Bray. Maybe it's not dead yet. Maybe we got more to do. Who will now, Cody or Solo, give your predictions? Please read my comment. Trendy, welcome. Yeah, we will take your predictions. Who do you got? No contest protects both guys, but lazy bogan. John, I agree. I say give Cody the win. If I was booking this, I would give Cody the win. Sends a strong message. No one else has beat Solo. Solo's a bulldozer. Solo's young. He loses to the number one contender. Not a big deal. He'll be fine. You don't really need to protect everybody every time. Solo doesn't need protected. He'll show up next week as a badass. Like, will you remember when, tying this back to Umaga, Umaga lost the big matches more than they won them because that's what his role was. Big enforcer, give someone for the babyface to climb. But they'll show up next week and be the big enforcer all over again. So to your point, if they go the squash, a little bit lazy. I like the message it sends if Cody is victorious. Chris Masters is 40. WWE doesn't have interest in that. Yeah, I don't know how eager they are to bring back certain talent, but it depends. Masters, I don't know. Really, at this point, I don't know. He's doing all right in NWA. He doesn't exactly. He's never really gotten over with me either way. I didn't really care for him. Dave Mulligan owns 90% of the Attitude Era designs. There you go. There you go, JV. Thank you, thank you, thank you. KJ Drake Maverick, GM of AEW. I think it's funny. I think it's fucking hilarious. I think Drake Maverick's adorable. That sounds terrible. I like Drake Maverick, but I will remind everybody we are in the commercial break. We got about 10 minutes on the clock. The main event is going on. If you haven't made a prediction on the main event, please do so. I want to know what you guys think. Who are you taking? And don't go anywhere. After the match, I want your rating on Raw. I want you guys to tell me out of 10 how you feel about everything we saw tonight. But we'll find out. But I'm sick. Told you, 3 commercials in succession in your main event. It's bad. It's bad. Move those commercials away. Get them in the ring. Give us 1 commercial leading in and let them wrestle. Make it valuable. Show us your main event matters by not mucking it up with 4 commercial breaks. It's fucking rough. Cody versus Solo should have been saved for nah. This is perfectly fine, Mark. This is not Solo's a good name and a lot of people like him, but he's not a marquee guy yet. It's not. Cody should win this by all standings. If you're booking it properly, Cody's just at a different level than Solo right now. This is the way it is. A Haka dance. There you go. I think Solo Sikoa should be dethroned. That's a great shout. Solo going after Gunther would be fun. But again, Solo's a little green. We'll see where it goes. It's early. What if he has to try and get himself over with some talk, or does he need to? I don't know. But time will tell on Solo. Be patient with Solo. KJ, I think he meant it has a fatal 4-way trio match. Or like 2 separate ones, yeah. Yeah, all right. Why hasn't Uncle Howdy brainwashed someone? Right? I just want to know where he went. What happened to Howdy? Where is he? I mean, if Bray is unhappy with creative, or if Bray's injured, or Bray doesn't want to do it, where's Howdy? Let's carry the story forward. What are we going to do? That's why I think it's a pause. I think there's something that's going to happen there. Solo all over Cody Rhodes, working that shoulder. Have Solo avenge Roman's loss at Backlash. Cody beating Solo at Backlash. Build through 2023 till Mania, where Solo gets to overcome. Yeah. I don't know, Mark. Not yet. You're looking at WrestleMania 44, 45 before that's even a possibility. I'd have done a fatal 4-way with 1 member. Yeah, I thought about that earlier, Dave. I still think that was horrible booking, but that would have been a better choice, at least from my standpoint. Doing an 8-man tag is essentially what we're going to see this weekend. Silly, lazy, rinse and repeat booking. I really don't have any time for that. Taking the interest out of something that wasn't that interesting to begin with. I think Bobby Lashley wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Has an open challenge, and who answers is Brian Cage. I don't know. I don't love Brian Cage, but could you imagine? Brian Cage, Bobby Lashley could be one of the clunkiest matches in the history of matches. Or maybe it works. But that could be clunky as shit, Damian. Strowman versus Dawkins and versus Otis versus the Vikings. Who is KJ's doppelganger? I'm one of the Viking Raiders, guys. Or KO or any other beard dude with a... Oh! Snap power slam as Corey yells out, but that was beautiful. Maybe Howdy will be scouting Gacy. Oh, ooh, juicy. I don't know though. I have my doubts. A 3-minute segment at Mania. Howdy talking to Gacy. Cody Cutter! We got a Cody Cutter, folks. No contest. There you go. God did the best of both worlds to get to watch with you. There you go. Love it, Polo. Good to see you, buddy. Always appreciate you popping by. And again, there's no better place. There's no better place to watch the wrestling. You want to laugh, you want to cry, you want to giggle, you want to have a good time, you want to talk wrestling. This is the place to do it. Crossroads. There you go. Now I feel like we're getting to ooze. Give them the pin. Then watch live when you go off. There you go. Solo right now is in the heater position. Yep. Absolutely, Dave. If Solo is chasing the IC title, I'd have McIntyre holding it when he does. I don't mind that. And I do like the idea of Gunther moving on, maybe to bigger and better things. But I also like Gunther just being a dominant IC champion. So, are you by yourself? Well, I mean, I got all you guys. I got, 37 peeps, boys and girls. I got everybody. I'm never alone, Mick. Never alone. How long do you think it will take for Umaga's son to come to the WWE? A couple of years. Let him develop. He'll show up in NXT. We'll go from there. Apparently, he's highly talented, so he's got it in his blood. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, Cody hurting, both men down. Could you see Brian Cage in WWE? I could, but I'm curious to see how they would book him, how they would use him. Would they make him like a Ryback, come in, dominate? He's definitely a heel. I think he's definitely a heel for WWE. Oh, Miss Spike. Another Cody Cutter. Another Cody Cutter. I just finished watching a dog wrestle a match in an indie show. Yeah, here comes the Usos. But they're going to get interrupted. We know it. Here they come. They're not making it. They're not making it. It's going to be Sammy's music, by the way. Super kick. No way. Oh, you're Nagi. Big kick out. Big kick out. Yeah, Cody's winning. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. About time. Let's fucking go. They're here. And they're brawling. They're brawling, folks. The Canadian Connection taking on the Usos. There you go. Cody's not all alone. They're going to fight off. They're going to fight off. Get out of here. Show's over. Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. 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 That's the way it should have went down. That is perfect. Oh, the guy in the Bloodline t-shirt. Fucking not happy at all. No, that's excellent. You knew it was going to happen. The Usos come out. They get interrupted. And you see the plan. As together, we can take down the Bloodline. And that's what happened tonight. Tune in Friday, because I guarantee you the Wise Man and the Bloodline are going to have a different vibe going into Saturday. This is just the moment for the baby faces. Feel good, get a little bit of rub, but the Bloodline's not done and they're not pushovers. So Hold on tight. We got more to come. But Cody Rhodes did exactly what I think he should have done. He beat Solo square in the ring. Solo has beaten everybody. And to lose to Cody, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't hurt him. Perfect. Good job. Good ending. Nice send off. You got your baby face on the turnbuckle. You got Paul kissing his phone. I have no idea why. Right? No, they respect each other. Remember, there's still that hint, that mutual respect. I got a new sitcom, 2 Canadians and a Cuban. That sounds not like a sitcom at all, JV. Heyman already speaking to Roman. I don't know. Right on, they did it. Without lazy booking, Hunter is booking it. There you go. No, I think it was great. I think that's exactly what it should have been. I think they were spot on. You need this. Again, every little bit legitimizes the chase. So last week we get the big hug. What does Cody, Sammy, and KO all on the same page with a common objective look like? Looks like what happened tonight. KO, Sammy take out the Usos. We get Cody with the big win. Perfect. That's what we needed. It makes Cody look good. Now we go into Friday. And I feel like Friday's going to end with a different vibe. I think the Tribal Chief is going to look pretty fucking powerful going into Saturday. So, good story writing. I like it. Cage is getting up there. I think he's like 38, maybe 36, 37, 38, maybe. 8 out of 10. All right, I like it. Ravi, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you. What a lazy show tonight. Ravi wasn't feeling it. I thought not bad. I thought it went pretty good. I don't know. Did you really feel it was lazy? I'm all ears. 2 Canadians, a Cuban. Good starts. Eddie Hart, Vampiro, and Conan. I like it. All right. Why is Trish and Lita back? Ravi, I'm not quite sure. I admit I kind of wanted, just, even if it was Ronda and Baszler versus 2 tag team champions, I would have been okay with that. If you did a fatal 4-way for the tag belts, I'd be okay with that. But it's WrestleMania, so you're gonna get some celebrities, you're gonna get some nostalgia. Why is John Cena coming back? Just for the pop, just for the eyes, just for the news stories. Trish coming back, Lita coming back. You're appealing to your 90s nostalgia. So you're trying to get all the wrestling fans. That's why. It's just a bigger fishing net. That's all they're trying to do at WrestleMania. Grab a little bit from every category. The 90s fans are going to be happy. We get some, the millennials are going to be happy with this. We're good. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just a mix. Are you going to read my comment? I read this one. But if you really want to get your comment read, you might have to click super chat. There's a lot of comments here, Mick. I can't get to them all. 8 out of 10, says John LaRue. So, a little bit. Ravi wasn't loving it. John was liking it a lot more. Bronson Reed needs a big monster heel turn before bringing Cage or any other meatball in. Yeah, I want to see Bronson Reed have an impact. Bronson Reed's still in that same vein like we talked about earlier about Umaga or Solo, where when they show up, they decimate. You might not see them for a few weeks, but every once in a while, all of a sudden, like, do you remember when Vince decided Umaga was going to be his guy and you hadn't seen Umaga in a while? Then he just showed up and destroyed. And you can't question it because they are that dominant. You believe what they're showing you. So Bronson needs more than what we've got, but I do truly believe that there was a lot Triple H wants to do with this company, and it's just WrestleMania. There were so many things already in play. If Vince had told Brock he was fighting Omos 6 months ago, Triple H ain't changing that. Unless Brock's like, fine. But if that was already an idea that was put in place, you had to run with it. Roman was already Universal Champion. The Usos were already champions. So we got to work this out, massage it out. And I think, you know what? Whether it's Vince or Triple H or a combination, I'm excited for Mania. I like what they did tonight, and I think overall, we're in for a hell of a weekend. All jokes aside, 6.5, 10. I feel like it's a weak build to Mania outside of Cody and the Canadian company. And the Bloodline and the Ray and Sun. That's quite a bit, though. I thought Dom was good tonight. I thought the build for that was decent. I'm excited about Edge and Seth. Edge and, sorry, I'm so used to them too. Edge and Balor. They did that without taking up too much time. I mean, overall, I mean, 6.5, I think, is a touch low. 10 plus from Mick. Every other match is weak. My biggest complaint tonight was the 8-man tag, but it was entertaining. If you were there, the fans were into it. Baby faces win. Everyone's happy. Didn't love it. The Miz TV segment was meh. I'll give you that. What else did we get tonight? That's a good point. Tonight went fast, though. 8 out of 10 from Damian. I don't care for Trish or Lita. Well, I'm really happy I get to see Trish on a regular basis at this point. I get it's that thing of Trish and Lita come back. You have them come back for the pop, for the look, for everyone's, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if they come in and they beat your current talent, it's not good for business. It's not good for them. And that kind of hot-shotting hurt the WWE for a long time. You know, keep bringing back the old wrestlers and beating the current wrestlers. Ask Bray Wyatt how that feels. Bloodline still outnumbers them. Insert RKO. I'm with you on that one, bro. I like that one a lot. That's a good shout. They are outnumbered. And I think that will get a huge pop. Huge. Trish and Lita are from bygone era. Yeah, but it doesn't mean they don't have value. I mean, they're Hall of Famers and legitimate Hall of Famers. Not Tori Wilson. You know, no offense, Stacy. She was great, talented lady. But these are two legit, solid women's wrestlers. We'll see how it goes. It's a gimmick match for a spectacle. And not, you're always going to get that in Mania. You're always going to get it, right? The backlot brawls, the Drew carries. You're always going to get some type of shit with a Mania. It's just the way it is. It's the glitz, the glamour. Wait till we get there and actors randomly start getting involved. We're not done yet. Great ending of the show. I agree. Asuka is dead and buried these days. Ravi, I think she's going to be champion on Sunday. So I don't know about dead and buried. She might be dead and champion. Or champion and buried, however you want to look at it. There you go. I was recently watching the lead up to WrestleMania 18, and man, why can't we get builds like that? We just don't. I don't know. I don't know why we can't just write the stories like that anymore. And again, compelling stories, strong, but everything led to the ring, right? Like, I know there was a lot of fucking around and there was a lot of soap opera and a lot of backstage shit, but it always somehow led to the ring, right? Like, even characters like where we talk about like Finn Balor and such, you know, or where we talk about, you know, Bronson Reed being a big guy, like they got in the ring. You had to watch them, whether it was a squash match to remind us how dominant they were, or where they were pumping the shit out of your favorite person. Like the builds, it's just all changed. And now I sound like the old guy of like, in my day, it was much better. But no, it's still good. 8 out of 10. I'm pumped for SmackDown. There you go. I like it. Bobby should be champ. Lashley? Bobby could be champ. And they had real magic if they would have, and they flirted with it. But I think if you give us Bobby in the Hurt Business, I got no problem with Bobby as a champ. MVP as his mouthpiece. He's surrounded by his squad, his goons. You got to go through hell to get to him. And when you get to him, he is the boss. He's not a pushover. He's the master of the Hurt Lock. I don't have any problem with that. Bobby right now on his own, not so much. I don't like it. He's not compelling enough. He's not interesting enough. He's too nice. And he's not He's too nice, but he's not interesting enough to get over as a babyface. So it's challenging with Bobby. Whew, you guys are rolling 10 plus from Mick again. That's why it's the biggest show of all, exactly. Right? I mean, think about it. Back in the day, you were getting Mr. T's, Cyndi Lauper, Liberace. We go through it all. We've had musical performances by a whole gang of people. You get celebrities involved at Mania all the time. Muhammad Ali, like that's what we're going to get. And that's what I can't wait for. I want to watch the spectacle that is Mania. Look at last year, even. We got Austin in a fucking street fight out of nowhere. McMahon showed up and took a stunner. Whew, it's crazy times. Crazy times. Literally. You got to think about from a casual fan perspective. Trish and Lita, yeah, exactly. If you walked around the public right now, go around your neighborhood and ask people, hey, do you know Trish Stratus? More people are going to say yes. Do you know Lita? More people are going to say yes. Then, do you know Io Sky? Do you know Dakota Kai? Who? Yeah, good point. I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight and The Miz as a tag team. I see why. It's not bad. Just hate that for LA. I think LA's better than that. I think LA's beyond The Miz. But I see why. Not terrible, JV. I just don't love it. My personal opinion. I'll get the Booker of the Year if Triple H brings back Randy Orton to Mania. Hold on tight. You guys have watched us pop and explode on this channel. Pause a bunch of times. But Randy Orton showing up at Mania and an unexpected RKO out of nowhere. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Maybe Justin Bieber will perform. Okay. Maybe. He shows up if KO and Sammy win. He sings off the final. If there's any decency left in WWE, they will never use Hogan. I don't disagree with you, Larry. I really don't. I'm not going to get too long-winded on this because I am going to pack it in. We got a lot of wrestling to cover this week, and my throat, like I said, we're already feeling it on a Monday. But the interesting thing about wrestling is there has been a quite double standard across the board. They will use someone like Hogan, knowing some of the checkered past of Hogan post being a wrestler. They use them. They're okay with it. But they took Ric Flair off the opening. Now they put him back. You still have a Warrior Award. That should not be the Warrior Award. There should be the Owen Hart Award or the Anybody But Ultimate Warrior Award. As a kid, as little 4 and 5 year old KJ, I was an absolute mark for the Ultimate Warrior, but he's not a good person. He wasn't a good person. And God rest his soul. I'm sure he tried to make amends with some of it, but he just wasn't a nice being in his later years. And they still allow that recognition. So we pick and choose. We really pick and choose. And that's a tough one. Man, at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing LA Knight in anything. Give him a fall in love with Moppy's daughter for all I care. I want to see LA Knight. JV, I'm with you on that 100%. Yeah, I think LA Knight's a talent. I think LA Knight's a star. I think he's on a different level than a lot of the athletes that we see week in and week out. He's a pro. He's a vet. He is solid. Yeah, we need more. But I will say this, folks. I give tonight's show, I think, for a couple extra reasons. It's a feel-good Monday night. It's the go-home show for Mania. I'm going to be a little bit more generous than I usually am. I'll give this show an 8. It's high. I could have definitely rested a little bit lower on this one. But overall, I'm excited about Mania. I'm happy. I enjoyed the show. It didn't feel like a really long, dragged-out night. So I'm okay with it. So 10 out of 10. I like it. Night, boys and girls. I thank you all for being here. I will remind everybody, we are the Wrestling for Life Network. I am Mr. Every Night KJ White. That was Big Nick. Big Nick and Piff Cliff will be back tomorrow. NXT, Stand and Deliver, Go Home show. I admit I don't know what's going on in NXT because I quit. But NXT tomorrow, the boys are going to ride it out. It's going to be a good one. Wednesday, Dynamite. Thursday, triple header. Friday, triple header. Saturday, Marathon Mania Marathon. Call it what you will. Sunday, a repeat of Saturday. It's the most wrestling you can get anywhere else. We will be live, come hell or high water, sickness into health, till death do us part, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for enjoying the show. Thank you for being a part of the stream. Like, subscribe. Check out below our merch store, our Discord, our social medias. Go check them all out. Go say hi and share. Share our link. We want to make this the biggest week in this channel's history. We're only 13 months old, and we want to blow up this week, and we appreciate everybody's support, help, and love. That was Wrestlemania. Go home. Monday Night Raw. I'm not betting my beard on anything unless I'm really confident. All that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know how Nick throws out the little saying, so let's pretend he did. And I don't want to hijack his gimmick. I will say, see you on the flip side. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. And I already said see you on the flip side, didn't I? Bye for now.